Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back, and it is time for something spectacular here tonight because XCAL is going to North Wilkesboro, and for the first time ever, there is no pit road speed limit. Tonight is going to be definitely going to be exciting, interesting, and probably a few huge surprises. Looks like we've got two members of the Seams family here tonight, all three members of the Gilliatt family here tonight, so that could make things even more interesting. It's going to definitely be a wild night, plus some notable starts tonight, like AJ Godsey of BRR fame, who hops in that number 40 Coors Light car for the first time and has been one of, if not the fastest, all through the heats, getting ready to fire off here tonight. He is going to be a tough one to beat. And just to make things even more interesting, you guys have heard him in BRR races. We have Jared Heasley in the booth. Good evening, Jared.
Well, dog, everybody. Once of the year, should be a fun night. I'm looking forward to this.
I'm really looking forward to the. How do you think pit road under green flag conditions with no speed limit is going to go?
I think we better hope there isn't a green flag pit stop, because I think somebody's just going to die. It won't be, it won't be. There'll probably be a caution if there wasn't a caution going into the green flag pit stops, because somebody's going to miss it. Somebody's going to hit that wall, and there's going to be somebody going across the track.
Well, there is that on corner entry, on pit road entry, plus the exit. Somebody at the back of the pit road is going to come flying down full bore out of pit road at 100 miles an hour. And as we watch Jeremy Gilliatt hit pit road at full speed, a lot of guys have been practicing hitting their pit boxes at full speed, and that has been extremely entertaining to watch as well.
Yeah, the green being onto the track should be something to look forward to. There's no pit lane exit here. The cone is right after pit lane, so you just come out and go straight into the track lane. So you really got to be on your toes tonight to make sure you're not going to nail a car as you're coming out just on a pit lane, let alone on the track.
It's definitely going to be a fun one. Plus, there is some controversy for some of the drivers coming in tonight. So let's get that party started right now. Joe Campbell back in the car tonight, and looking forward. He has got some smack talk tonight. Hey Joe, it's Doug. You got me, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, I heard you were a little bit riled up with one of the drivers, a certain Mason Foster.
Yeah, I honestly don't know what's going on over there at Flamin' Karma. I really like Jerry a lot, but this is 2 weeks in a row that his drivers have wrecked me out, and I'm just fed up. And I mean, Mason, I hope he stays clear of me tonight, because I'm just too fed up, and I unfortunately am gonna have to show that little punk like who's gonna run the show, because it ain't gonna be him.
Well, and in addition to that, I mean, there is the thing with pit road, and that could definitely come into play with short tracks and tempers. Then having a pit road with no speed limit, that could be very interesting.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous about the whole pit road thing. I think that could be some very chaotic situations. Man, I don't even know what I want to do. Like, pit before, pit after, try pit with them. I really don't know, but it's definitely scary thinking about it. We'll see. I mean, and that is a good time for a mistake in quotations to happen. So definitely gonna have to be heads up on those, man.
Well, man, good luck tonight. Obviously, hope you make it through this one clean and unharmed, buddy. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. I'd just like to put a shout out to this XCAL web shop. They put on a hell of a series. Guys, people watching, go check it out. There's all kinds of merchandise, different drivers. If you don't, have a driver, maybe you'll, like one of the shirts, become, your favorite driver. If not, they've got other stuff, other than just the drivers, t-shirts, coffee mugs, hats, towels, blankets, you name it. So y'all go check out the XCAL Racing web shop. Good place.
All right, thanks, Joe.
Thanks, Doug. Have a good night, buddy.
Joe Campbell, obviously a little riled up. Huge shout out to Corey for the stars tonight. Great way to start the night here. Now we talk to Brent Mekas, who had his first XCAL top 5 last week. And Brent, obviously you've been getting faster all season long, but man, your first career top 5 last night, you've got to be happy about that.
Yeah, Doug, I was really excited. Was able to put things together at the Rock. I want to say I finished top 10 there the first time this season, so it seemed to be a pretty good track. I brought the same setup, and I was able to run. I couldn't keep up with the 3 big dogs, but it's kind of in my own race there, and just had to make it last.
Right.
Good.
You definitely got the job done, buddy, and a great run. Your season's really been improving the last couple of weeks, and could tonight be the night that we see you maybe with a podium or even a win?
That's the goal, Doug. I want to get on that podium. I want to be able to do another interview with you tonight. But we'll see. This track's been tough for me to get it set up on. Been working pretty much all this week, and we're kind of settling on what we started with Sunday night. So we'll see where we go from there.
Well, man, good luck. A great run last week, and hope to be talking to you again after the race, buddy.
Hey, thanks, Doug. I just want to give a shout out to XCAL web shop. Hopefully I'll get a podium finish, get something in there sometime soon. Aaron for putting on these great shows at XCAL. You, Doug, for putting the broadcasts. The broadcasts are beautiful, so that's awesome.
Thanks, buddy. Good luck tonight.
All right, take care, guys.
And we have a car owner to talk to next, Gerald Danos Pool, and Jared, you've driven for him a few times this season. I'll let you get a word with him.
Gerald, it's Doug and Jared in the booth. What's up, man?
Oh, nothing. Just sitting here waiting to jump into this Scarlet Skull car and go 400 laps here at North Wilkesboro in some funky circumstances.
Well, I'll tell you what, you have 4 beautiful cars as always. Are you nervous about the pit road and everything going on with the throwback weekend we got here?
Yes and no. I mean, my biggest fear is not so much the danger on pit road, it's timing your speed to make sure you stop in your pit stall. Because you can overshoot it, and these cars just don't have that good a brake. So you never, I think I've got mine timed down where I am, but you never know. You get a little impatient, come in a little bit hard, you can overshoot it, cost yourself a bunch of time on pit road for no reason.
You have about 3 of your guys starting from the rear. Do you think you can work your way up through it after not racing a heat race, you, Lataro, or are you going to be kind of sitting back being patient?
I know Lataro. I mean, his nickname is not to butcher for nothing. So my expectation is he and Octavia will probably try to push their way towards the front. I'm probably going to be a little bit patient because those types of things cause cautions, and I'm going to try to take advantage of as much of that as I can. So, plus I got some other teammates that are pretty close to the front, AJ and Jose, and they're both solid out here and running good times. So I've some high expectations for this evening.
Yeah, I think you should. Good luck to you, and have fun.
10-4, man. We'll catch you later.
Yep.
And finally, a quick word with his 10th pole of this career. Matt, you got your 10th pole of your XCAL career coming into tonight. Man, you've got to feel good starting where you are, and especially your pit stall tonight.
Yeah, it's going to be very beneficial getting off pit road. I'll be able to drive in as deep as I can and then just go straight off pit road full send. I feel pretty good about the car. I didn't really know how it was going to go in the heat last night. Halfway through, I was sitting there complaining and telling my guys I can't drive this thing. It's undrivable. And then about 5 minutes later, it came in, and I drove away from the field for the rest of the heat. So I think if we can just get past that 25, 30 lap barrier, I think we got a really good long run car here tonight.
Well, buddy, good luck tonight. Time for you to hop in the car.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it.
Matt Bear starting on the pole, and our grid for tonight has Matt Bear and Jose Godino up front. Nick Seams, the college kid, and Joe Campbell on the second row. Flying Ryan and the rookie AJ Godsey on the third row. Brent Meckes, Derek Dixon on the fourth. Albie Hewen, Sean Andrews round out your top 10. The Gilliots are back. Jeremy starting in 11th. Adam starting in 12th. John Friley in 13th. Gerald Thanos Poole in 14th. Derek Colson 15th. Lataro in 16th. Octavio Rondoletto starts in 17th. Scott Gilliott back tonight in 18th. And believe it or not, Jeremy Leto is back. Have not seen that name in a while. He'll round out the field in 19th place. Jared, final thoughts as the drivers all get to the grid and get ready to roll off here?
I think your show is going to come from either your 15th, your 16th, 17th, that next to last row. Lataro and Rondoletto, man. Those guys are going to be coming through the field in a hurry. And you got to watch the Gilliotts as well in the sixth row there. They always put on a good show. They're fast, but they can also be a little aggressive. So you got to go watch those guys as well. We'll see if they come up through this field and see what they can do.
And of course, a guy we know can get the win here, AJ Godsey, starting in 6th place. The guy that brought BRR to life and got the BRR win here at North Wilkes just a few weeks ago. He is, man, any short track, he is tough to beat. One of the fastest guys out there. Pace truck about to come in one more time around Wilkesboro. A downhill front straightaway, which will come into play with that no pit road speed. Of course, a lot of folks out here cheering on the Seams fan club. I might have to go back through my notes here in a little bit because Gerald came up with a name for him. But here we go. Looks like that pace truck is pulling in. Aaron Hillebush in the stand. He waves the green flag. They're down and away at North Wilkesboro.
See if Jose can stick with them here on the outside, or the outside's going to get kind of a run off. You can get the outside to work, but you have to keep the momentum and stay close.
And that is definitely going to be a big factor here tonight. And I've noticed a few drivers early on. I noticed in practice quite a few connection issues tonight with storms throughout the country, or throughout the U.S. Some of these drivers not in the U.S., but storms throughout the U.S. could play a factor here tonight as well. It is looking a little rainy in North Wilkesboro tonight.
Yeah, it looks kind of foggy and dreary. Hopefully the race isn't that way.
I don't think it will be, as Matt Bear quickly secures his lead. Nick Seams in second. Ryan Seams now up to third. Joe in fourth. Jose Godino in fifth. And things are heating up mid-pack as a few drivers like Octavio Rondoletto coming through the field.
Yeah, we knew it wouldn't take long for him to come up through this. He's going to come up through this fast speed. Be ready for him to find his way up.
Now Octavio on the move. Lataro also up a couple of spots. And you have to wonder, some of these guys sitting at the back, it looks like Leto did not actually take to the grid. You have to wonder if some of these guys sitting at the back here tonight, they might be taking it easy here until this first pit stop. It could come into play with that no pit road speed. I'd imagine there's going to be chaos on and off pit road tonight. We're about to get a three. We're going to have three wide into turn three.
Yeah, Octavio's, we're going to spin 42 into the 44. Beckus is around.
First caution of the night, lap 5. Let's see what happens. Looks like Derek Colson involved in this as well. They go into turn 3, 3 wide. Nobody backing off. The 454 down on the apron. The 44 just comes up. No real estate there. And wow, 4 cars involved.
The 21 came in and got a nice lick there too.
Scott Gilliott, man, he has gotten faster and faster, but there has been no luck for him as a driver. Interesting start to the night. How many cars will we see on pit road? Obviously the guys involved, but 5 laps in, I don't think anybody's going to try and play the fuel mileage game.
Yeah, it's too early for that, I think. You've got We got 400 laps. I think hitting now, we're just going to lose your track position. But the story so far, I mean, Octavio is marked right now in 8th place. He's come from, 10th place. It looks, maybe not.
Oh.
Everything's updating for me right now, so we'll see where he's at.
Well, it looks like a bunch
He pitted.
Yeah, a bunch came to pit road. Big surprise there. Looking at 70 laps on a tank of fuel. Some of those guys that are good at clutching may go 80 as Matt Bear is pushing the pace truck around the track. But some of these guys will be able to stretch to 80 laps on a tank of fuel. In a 400-lap race, that extra 10 laps every run could be a big factor here tonight.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, maybe if they can stretch it to 90 now. I mean, I don't know. See what the teams have to, what they're doing later. But it's an interesting strategy to get yourself in there and see what happens. I believe restarts are single file tonight. There shouldn't be a lap car. There are a couple lap cars, so they're both in pit lane.
It will definitely, because of the old school nature, the throwback for tonight, the lead lap cars will start on the outside, and they have to start very high up. They're using the 2 outside lanes for the restarts. It's definitely going to give an advantage to those lap cars on the restarts, who will be starting on the inside. I think it's as the lights go, nope, lights are back on the pace truck. I think it's going to be, restarts are going to get very exciting very quickly here.
Yeah, if you're a lap car, you have an opportunity. It's like, hey, I may have been involved with that, but can I get back ahead of Matt Bear? He didn't pit here. I don't know. He probably didn't take tires yet, but can I get ahead of him and get my lap back rather than waiting for a wave, doing something? You might want to be aggressive down there and try to get in the points and the money even higher than you are, staying in. You know what I mean? You got a chance.
And it does look like Jeremy Leto has finally got in the car, so he may be rolling off pit road now as well. Scott Gilliott, Jeremy Gilliott, Derek Dickinson, all involved in that, all losing laps here. The only time a pit road speed limit is in play is under caution. Green flag stops. It is full send through pit road.
Curious to see how this restart goes and how things look. People, maybe dive to the inside after the green goes. Can Matt Bear should be able to get a really good jump here, but can they all stay with him?
Good question. Pace truck back in, green flag back in the air, and they are down into turn 1, mostly single file. Scott Gilliott, the only lap car that managed to get back out, but did not get out in time to get up front. So he'll have to wait for the next caution. And it looks like Scott Gilliott may have had a problem on the restart. Let's see what happened here. Down into turn 1, he gets loose. Goes into the grass. He does manage to recover it without hitting anything. And Octavio already up to 6th place, Jared.
Yeah, from 17th to 6th, and we're on lap 13. I think this field's better watch out. It's coming.
I would be worried about the guy in front of him too. AJ, I think, might just be playing with him from what I've heard from the heat races and from practice this week. AJ has been very, very tough to beat here. And from experience, trying to beat AJ on the short track is often impossible.
It is impossible. I've seen it.
I don't know any of us that have ever actually beat AJ on the short track. We should have interviewed him in the pre-race. You got to wonder, is AJ struggling tonight?
If he is, the field's in trouble. We'll see how he does. The 454 is coming. And Lataro's not far behind now. He's up from 16th to 7th.
Fastest lap so far has been set by the college kid, Nick Seams, in 2nd place as he sits right in Matt's tire tracks. And you're right, Lataro now up 9 spots into 7th, right behind Octavio. And we've seen those two get hooked up and work together. Could we see that happen again here tonight? Can they, one of them open the door, the other one slides through it, as Matt Bear is already looking at lap traffic.
Yeah, Nick is right behind him. Can he use some lap traffic to find a way to find the lead? Nick's on him.
Scott Gilliott already in trouble again here. Scott definitely, his first race back in a while, definitely struggling. Down off turn 4, the front straightaway into turn number 1, and did he get loose again? Oh, looks like he might have been having some connection problems, as we've mentioned. Quite a few drivers. It looks like there may actually be an issue with iRacing as Matt Baird goes by Scott Gilliott and puts him another lap down.
It's a good opportunity for guys to make passes. You can use that one cars I think at some point to see what you can do.
It looks like Octavio, there was a bit of a gap from AJ back to Octavio. Octavio is caught up. Lataro has come with him. Adam Gilliott is the next one back, but as they battle, he's only 1.7 seconds back. As they battle, he's going to be able to gain a lot of ground here as well. Meanwhile, Nick Seams still all over Matt's back bumper, and Joe Campbell in third is losing ground to the top two.
Yeah, you gotta, if you're the 29, the 40, the 454, you gotta get in there. At 63, so you can hold up this line.
Definitely appears to be. Joe, though, he did say he was out here, he is angry coming into this one, and Flaming Karma, J&S hopefully do not get together. Meanwhile, looks like AJ is looking under Flying Ryan. AJ gets a little loose into the corner and opens the door. Can Octavio take advantage?
Yeah, you can cut him off a little bit there, but it was clean. Octavio's probably good to the inside. I think if you're AJ, you might want to let this one go and save your battle for later.
Nick
Still a long way to go.
Nick Seams still staying right there. Now the gap back to Joe is 1.1 seconds. Ryan Seams still holds on to fourth. Octavio in fifth. AJ in sixth. Still side by side with Octavio. Lataro right there in seventh. AJ could back off, or Lataro could. These three cars have a lot of breathing room. Back to Adam Gilliott now in 8th place. Sean Andrews up to 9th. And Albie Hewins up to 10th now. Albie continues to turn that season around and have some awesome runs.
Hewins he's just consistent. You know, I don't know that he has overall speed most weeks, but every week it seems like he sits there, that mid-pack, and by the end of the race, it's like, no, how did he get here? And he has the right strategy, does the right things, races the right way. He's underneath, looks like Scott Gilliott there for lap car. But, you know, he'll be there at the end. I think he'll be fine as long as he can stay out of trouble.
Yeah, and he has started to march back up the points here in recent weeks. Albie now back up into 13th, right behind team owner Joe Campbell. So that could become an interesting one as well. And Brent Meckes currently running 15th. That is first top 5 in XCAL Racing just last week. Rough start to this one, involved in that first incident. Significant damage to the car, but I don't think that aero damage is gonna play too much of a factor here tonight.
Yeah, this is only 0.6 miles. I mean, this is, you know, aero's not the biggest thing here. Could be hurting handling. I don't know how much damage he has. It could be affecting the tires, stuff like that. But currently the last car on the lead lap, and kind of struggling to get lap time. So maybe it's hurting more than we think it is.
Now Octavio now up into 4th place. Joe in 3rd is about to have his hands full. Flying Ryan right there back to 5th now. Lataro in 6th.
Keeps poking his head at Matt Baird. He's just letting him know he's there. And I think it's only going to be a few laps until he is there.
I wonder how long Nick is going to sit back there and toy with him, to be honest. It's obvious Nick's got the speed. Obviously, Matt has found some speed, but as he said, he needs a long run to make it work tonight. Nick has had the speed since the drop of the green.
This is a group of cars here. The 63. You got the 454, the 29, the 43, the 40. They're pack racing in North Wilkesboro. That doesn't always go well.
No, pack racing on a short track.
Oh, they're in the wall. 63 and 454 in the wall coming on 4.
Yeah, this side-by-side, AJ Godsey able to capitalize on it. Octavio manages to clear. Joe is barely holding on to it. Looks like he finally got it gathered up, but that was a rough lap and a half for Joe Campbell.
You gotta wonder if Joe's not going to be happy with that. We know the 454 has a little bit of an alliance with FKR. Two teams that are working together, and that's where the Taro came from. You know, maybe Joe might take some offense to that and think there's still something going on here. We know, you know, he has a bit of temper on him, so maybe we'll get something out of that. Ryan Seams benefited a lot there. He gained 2 more spots back in the third. So you got Bear, Seams, and now Lataro.
And an interesting note, the Seams fan club, always one of the biggest ones out there, might actually have some competition tonight. AJ Godsey has a ton of fans out here tonight. Got Richie out here, got Mark Dantuma, a bunch of guys from BRR showing up to cheer on their fearless, well, I was going to say fearless leader, but that's you now.
I guess so. Joe's under pressure now. Looks like Adam Juliet for 7th. He's kind of on his way backwards after that.
Doesn't look like the car took any significant damage, but the tires may very well have. Jeremy Juliet had gone to pit road earlier. He is back out on track. And as we mentioned, Jeremy Leto is back in the car tonight. Leto currently running in 17th. He did not start with the rest of the field, so just over 10 laps down. But here we go. Nick Seams looks inside for the lead. Out of turn 2. Back down into turn 3. Nick has the nose ahead, but I have not got to drive these cars at this track. This track is known for getting really loose out of the turns, but it looks like these street stocks are planted as Nick Seams takes the lead.
I'll tell you what, it's a good time for like advertisement here because like you got Alka-Seltzer going on, you know, Bayer Aspirin. I think we all might need one of those after we get pit stops and different things going on. We might need an Alka-Seltzer just to, you know, we don't hurt ourselves while trying to keep an eye on everything that's going on here.
I think a few of the drivers, too, may need some beer. This one has been...
headaches. Lots of headaches.
There are going to be quite a few. I think that first green flag stop will tell the tale of how tonight's going to go. Did see in practice a bunch of drivers just testing out, getting onto pit road at full speed, hitting their pit stalls. I think we're going to see a lot of missed pit stalls tonight.
Looks like Gerald Pool's working his way up. He's up 3 spots and up to 11th. He said he's been patient. He has so far been kind of saving his stuff. He's working his way up there.
Yeah, closing in on Albie Hewins in 10th. And Thanos definitely on the run tonight. I love that throwback scheme, too. Man, some of these cars like that one really take me back to the 80s.
Yeah, I like that he put his own spin on that school car, but they got the right number, you know. I don't want to call, don't call him old, but he certainly has the Harry Gant style going on tonight.
He definitely does, and don't start on the old stuff. You're still a pup. Seams boys 1 and 3 right now. Matt Bear still sits in 2nd. Flying Ryan about 2.1 seconds back, but Lataro is there. AJ is right there, and Octavio also closing that gap. Right.
He's one of the best fuel savers out here from what I've seen, what I've seen, in real life as well. But he's also driving that 18 car. We know that 18 car just somehow can save gas better than any other car I've ever seen. So is this a strategy thing? Is he using a little bit of a draft behind that double zero to go a little bit further? And we know it worked last week. Can he do it again and find a way to win this thing?
Well, if anybody's figured out on this track how to save fuel, it's going to be the Mad Bear. And, yeah, he's going to use every car, every lap car, every opportunity. Plus, he has that real big advantage going down pit road. He is that first pit stall coming out, so he'll be able to come out as fast as he wants. But he'll not be having to come full bore and slow down like a lot of... I think some of these guys that are pitted way back there are going to have some problems. And Lataro, speaking of problems, Looks like Lataro has had a problem a moment ago. Coming out of turn 2, he clips the grass. Oh, gets down into the grass, does manage to recover it, but Lataro losing a ton of ground. He is now back into 13th, but he charged up once. He'll probably do it again.
It looks like AJ got a clip of him just coming off the 2 there, but it doesn't look like it's too bad. He's fast enough. He should be okay.
Definitely going to be.
It's just a little out down as well.
Brent Mekas getting his first top 5 last week, but after that early incident, damage to the car, it looks like he has started to fade just a little bit. Hopefully once he gets to pit road, he'll be able to get something going again. And we are seeing a bunch of blinking, and I have been monitoring. It does look like iRacing is having some sort of problems all of a sudden, so just be aware that if we have a problem, we'll come back as quickly as possible, and we are monitoring it, prepared for a red flag if necessary. Oh, we've got our first car going full send to pit road. Jeremy Gilliott, let's see how that entry went. I just caught a piece of that out of the corner of my eye. Here comes Jeremy Gilliott, and that's what a full-speed pit road entry looks like. I'm looking forward to seeing when we get 5 or 10 cars trying that.
Well, I think we're at least still about 30 laps from that yet. With the caution, it would be about 35, 36 laps. Not exactly sure. I know the windows about 80, so it should be about 30 laps from seeing that. A lot more unless there's a caution here.
It's going to be really interesting to see Gilliott exit pit road.
Looks like they're maybe just getting the damage repaired, trying to get that thing figured out. He's already 24 laps down, and I believe the 42 has already left the session, so he's really in no danger. 18th place is kind of his for the time being.
Yeah, he could definitely make up some ground. So it does look, because I don't expect that every car survives tonight. I did hear a couple of guys during practice were talking about as Nick Seams goes back by Scott Gilliott, and it's actually put some distance between him and the Mad Bear as Ryan Seams continues to close in. I did hear some drivers talk about pit road entry would be fun, but pit road exit, especially those guys up there at the top, right by pit road entry, they can come full speed down. They're doing about 100 miles an hour when they come out of pit road. There isn't a pit road exit to speak of, so these guys, when they come off pit road, things are going to get very interesting. And a couple of guys talked about coming out of pit road during practice, during heats. They just didn't get the aim right and ended up in that outside wall. If there's a car there when they come out, well, that car is going to be caught too.
Davio now just got passed by Adam Gilliott for 5th place. I wonder if maybe long run speed isn't quite there right now. Maybe some adjustments going on with that car.
Now, Octavio is a big strategy guy, and he might be sitting back here saving fuel. We've seen Octavio do that more than once this season, but I really think that car just does not seem to have that long run speed, like you said, but he will make some adjustments, and guarantee you he'll be back as they come by Brent Mekas. And wow, I think Brent may have gotten the wall again, though we just didn't see that front end. It's a lot more caved in.
He's off to a rough start. I think he's still have a long way to go. We're up to lap 60 of 400.
Yeah, it'd be a rough. It'd definitely be a rough race to go around here with damage, but when you're looking at 19-second laps, man, those laps are going to go by very, very quickly tonight. So Nick Seams, meanwhile, continues to extend his lead, and Ryan Seams continues to close in, but AJ looks to the inside for 3rd. AJ gets a little loose off there. It looks like the place to pass tonight, maybe up top.
It's going to be good to keep an eye on that outside line and see if the rubber gets going, how things work out. AJ might be able to complete this here in 3 and 4. He looks good on the low side. Looks like Ryan Seams maybe struggling up there. AJ gets it done.
Yep, AJ moves up into 3rd place. Now sets his sights on the Mad Bear, and just 2 seconds behind. Matt thought he had the long run car, but it looks like that might go to AJ. at least for the moment, and to Nick Seams, as Seams continues to pull away. And while we're waiting for our first set of green flag stops, we're going to take a quick commercial break, but don't go anywhere. We're going side by side. You won't miss a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, green flag stops underway. Ryan Seams, AJ Godsey, Sean Andrews, all on pit road. Nick Seams continues to lead. A few other drivers have gone to pit road in the first round of no pit road speed limit stops have begun. Jarrett, nobody's died yet.
Nobody's died yet. He did say yet, though. 18's coming out here. We'll see what happens when he reconvenes.
Oh, leader's in. That is just, I watched it in practice, but that is just the wildest thing you're ever going to see, is somebody coming full speed down a pit road.
Yeah, AJ just came right out, right up by Brett there. No problem. He had a lucky Brett, or AJ was in a good place. He had one guy near him.
I got
able to get off pretty clean.
Yeah, and he was close to the front of pit road. Let's see his exit. Yep, full throttles it. Back out on track, just Brent Mekas there when he comes out. Adam Gilliott has now taken the lead. Octavio to second as stops are going underway. Lataro now up to third. And the fuel strategy, guys, the fuel savers are definitely coming into play here.
These are the guys that pitted on that first stop. Gilliott, I believe, was the first of that. He and Octavio, I believe, were the first two of that group that pitted on that early lap 7 caution, I believe it was. So
yep.
These guys are taking advantage of that. They put the whole field a lap down right now. These 8 guys down in Wilson and 8.
Yeah, you are absolutely right. In fact, the only driver in that lead lap that has not been to pit road yet is Albie Hewins. Hey, good evening to Danny. How are you doing tonight, ma'am? Derek Colson now hitting pit road. Really looking forward to getting to see a bigger group hit pit road. We've not seen more than 2 or 3 cars hit pit road at one time. And of course, 77 laps into this thing, the field is awfully spread out here early.
Yeah, we thought with pit road it could happen because a lot of guys might be a little bit hesitant getting on pit road. Some guys might be full board. You might gain spots or lose spots doing one or the other. So that could actually stretch the field out even more. and then just cause chaos and bunch us back up.
Chaos is definitely something we expected a lot of. I really did not think we'd get this far into a cycle of green flag stops without some more chaos, but here we are. Most of the field has completed their first stops. Only 5 drivers left to hit pit road.
Yeah, quick note there, Octavio just hit his pit road. He was by himself. We still have, what, 6 cars here still going.
Albie also on pit road along with Gerald Poole, and it looks like Albie on left sides. He's about to come out. See if we can get a good look at him coming off. He's about midway up pit road. Octavio merges at full speed. That is just nuts the way these guys are coming out.
Gilliat, the leader, just came in. He's on pit road. Jose looks like he will take the lead. He takes fuel strategy, as we know, very seriously. Jose's a great tire saver, fuel saver, so he comes out. He's going to take the lead here on the next lap. We'll see what he does on pit road when he decides to go.
Want to take a look. Gerald Poole was one of the furthest back on pit road. Wanted to see his pit road entry. He's up there around the start-finish line. And there he goes. He fires it down toward turn 1. I'm not seeing these guys come out nearly as aggressively as I expected. Meanwhile, Derek Colson has had a problem, as has Albie Hewins. There's Colson coming off turn 4. Oh, he gets loose. Sends it around. Ends up, wow. And does a 360 and gets it going again. That was an impressive recovery.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's impressive to see these guys just keep it going, no caution, just keep running. I think something to keep an eye on, keep a note of. I don't know exactly what happened to the seams and to Bear, but AJ Godsey will have the lead. He is now the first car 1 lap down. Jose has not pitted yet, but AJ Godsey will be in the lead once everything cycles back through, once Jose pits.
Did get a question from the chat, now that you're mentioning AJ, who's currently scored in second place, coming from some pizza pepper guy. You ever heard of that guy, Jared?
Yeah, he's really famous, actually.
I've heard
how
that.
you don't know about him.
I don't know either. But that pizza pepper guy asked if AJ is struggling yet, and I think at this point we can obviously say yes, he is.
He's on a level right now. We'll see what happens. He got the fresh air. He's coming up on lap traffic. We'll see when Jose pits. And Jose is pitting now. Actually, he's flying down pit road. AJ will assume the lead.
That is just. I think I'll be watching the replay of this race for a long time to come, because that is just such a wild thing to see. Somebody coming full send down pit road like that. AJ does have a big gap. It looks like he had a slightly faster stop than Nick Seams in second, Matt Bear in third, Adam Gilliat now in fourth. It does look like he had a little bit faster, not only a faster stop, but a faster run onto and off the pit road. That could be a huge factor here tonight if you can send it a little deeper onto pit road than everybody else.
See how many cars can keep the lead lap after the pit stops here. Lataro lost some spots back down to 10th. Octavio's in 7th. For the most part, it's pretty similar to how they came in and how they came out. Nobody really gaining or losing. Jose just came back out.
Wow.
See how many spots he loses.
Well, it's currently scored in 12th, and as Lataro goes around, the view from the nose cam on Lataro's car as he go uphill, and that is the unique thing about North Wilkesboro. Downhill down the front stretch and uphill up the back stretch, so the banking is the same at both ends of the track, but it looks completely different because of the way you're attacking it, and also it's a little tricky to set a car up for.
It's a weird track because both corners actually look totally different, but both straightaways are marked at 3 degrees of banking, and both corners are marked at 13. It's an interesting track design. I don't know who came up with this thing, but it was a dirt track originally. So maybe they just put some pavement over the dirt and said go run it. I have no idea. That was 1957 it was paved in, so originally at least. So, and that 43 car, I'll tell you what, keep an eye on the car. There's one guy who's won 15 times at this place, Richard Trumpetti, in that famous 43 car, so look out. Maybe a 16 win.
It could very well be. Lataro has been on a tear here recently with repeated podium finishes, so he is definitely one to watch. And it hasn't mattered. We see some guys who dominate on the super speedway type tracks, like Joe Campbell. We see guys that dominate on short tracks, like AJ Godsey. But Lataro, he just gets out there and gets it done. It don't matter what track he's on. He's just sending it and getting it done.
Yeah, he's always fast. He's always watching. I love how the 43 cars. They didn't quite get the number right, which is a little bit disappointed, but it still looks good.
It does look pretty. It is nice to see it back out there, and these old school style paint schemes are nice. I gotta say, love AJ's Sterling Marlin throwback there. Nick Seams.
The old silver bullet going on up there.
Definitely some. I'm half tempted to go grab one out of the fridge. But the old Bear paint scheme and Alka-Seltzer on that 00 of Nick Seams, and Nick Seams, who led here early. This is at least initially a one-race deal for AJ Godsey coming in here for his debut. But you got a guy like Nick Seams who hasn't been here all year, but since his return, the college kid has definitely put on quite a show. He actually managed to get himself voted into the All-Star event and ended up doing really, really well. I think whenever Nick Seams is on track, he is somebody to watch.
Yeah, most Seams guys, they seem to be really fast every time they get a shot at this. Ryan's back in 5th place right now, Nick in 2nd. They're both fast. I guess there's a younger one coming, so maybe we'll have a 3rd one coming next year or something.
My understanding is not only a younger Seams, but an older Seams as well. The possibility of like a 6-car Seams team next year is not unheard of. I think they've got a whole crew of racing family there, so it's going to be XCAL royalty for them.
Would the mother be called a seamstress whenever that happens? Like you're just making so many different seams. Are you a seamstress there? Is that what that is?
I could very well be. I mean, there's just a ton of seams. And Gerald, for the life of me, I cannot remember. We'll have to see if we can get a word with Gerald later. But he came up with the perfect name for the seams. Any of you Seamses remember what he came up with? Please put it in the comments so I can continue using it. I looked through my notes. I thought I wrote it down, but apparently I did not. Octavio now back up into 6th. Jose Godino back in 11th. 5.5 seconds behind Gerald Thanos Poole, but Gerald up in the top 10 now, having an awesome run tonight. And I did notice, looks like Mason Foster does not show up to race tonight, so Joe Campbell probably feeling a little bit safer, but as you mentioned, Joe has been knocked around a bit here lately, and there has been a frustrating season for him, but so you never know what could happen here late in the race. Joe definitely wants to get back to victory lane.
As he should. I think every driver in the field wants to. He's going to be maybe a little bit more aggressive doing it. I think they are. We know that.
I do think. I think Gerald probably has given instructions to the team to make sure that they don't get into any of the J&S cars, which would be a wise choice. I know Joe and Gerald have a really good friendship as team owners, so when something like this comes up between drivers, you know, it could be very, very bad.
Yeah, Albie as well. Albie races with those guys, and he's a friend of VRR, races with us every week, and he's always been with us, so there's really no problem there. It's just, a couple incidents here and there. Right now, everything's kind of spread out. There really isn't that many position battles going on as I search around. It's people saving fuel, trying to get going, and stay consistent before we get to the next fuel run, which is going to be a ways away yet.
Yeah, and I just watch Derek Colson closely coming out of turn 4 last time. That car was way out of shape. He managed to pull it back in, but Colson is one of those that is not saving anything right now. He is trying to run down. He's currently in 13th, trying to run down 12th place John Friley. Friley having a great night here tonight as well. great to see Friley in the last couple of weeks has turned it up a notch as well.
Yeah, I don't know much about John Friley. Seems like he runs about mid-pack most of these races. You see that every day. No problem with John. We've raced pretty good with him. Pretty good a few times. He's on it. 12th place. He's doing pretty good. Jose there in 11th. Derek in 13th. These are guys who show up every week. They put on a show, and we'll see what these guys will do as they keep going. I'll be there in 14th and lost some spots on the pit road. So, but like I said, it's just a lot of spread out. The way pit is, a lot of guys doing different things. And I think it's really spread this field until something inevitably happens, I guess.
Yeah, big surprise to see Jeremy Gilliott. He and Adam Gilliott started side by side at the beginning of the race. And we have seen when those two get together, when they start side by side or when they get together in the early laps, they take off. But Jeremy having issues early, caught up in that first caution, and now way back in 18th place. Meanwhile, Scott Gilliott, who also had problems early, got caught up in that incident, has made his way up to 16th, just a few laps behind Brent Meckes. Meckes has substantially more damage, though, and it looks like Scott, he's got a lot of laps left, and he is faster at the moment and has been consistently faster. Scott has than Brent Meckes. I think Scott may not be out of this fight. He might be able to pick up a spot or two tonight.
Yeah, like you said, if we get a caution and we get this whole, kind of retro restart, all of these guys at the bottom here have an opportunity. Sean Andrews, Jerry Jose, John Friley, as we mentioned, will have a shot at AJ or whoever the leader may be after those pit stops to get their lap back. They'll have a lot of big opportunity to try to run their way into the lead lap rather than just waiting for a wave or
Oh, AJ, wow. Scott Gilliott had a problem coming off 4, got into AJ. AJ manages to save it, but what a close call for the leader. Scott Gilliott, you see, goes up the track, out of turn 4. He's already loose, gets down into AJ. AJ holds on to it. Great save by AJ and great recovery by Scott. Manages to get the car turned back around.
It looks like he just got loose coming off 4. It looks like he was going to give AJ plenty of space and just kind of lost it. Great job by AJ to hold that. It doesn't feel good if you're the leader having something like that happen. No,
it doesn't. Doesn't look like AJ took any damage in that incident. Just a little door bounce there. And, close calls like that, not something you want to have, but we've seen AJ have worse on a short track and make a comeback. So, Nick Seams sitting there 1.7 seconds back, still a threat. He was just 2 seconds behind a couple laps ago, capitalizing, picking up a lot of ground here, and continues to close back in on the leader. I don't think Nick Seams should be counted out, especially if this thing stays green. He seems to have a ton of long run speed.
Well, absolutely. If you're still on the lead lap at this point, you still have a great opportunity with strategy, fuel saving. The 454, the 43, we mentioned that. Ryan and Nick Seams are really fast. We'll see. Maybe they could be saving their stuff right now. And this could be a strategy thing by them and the 18 to save some fuel and see what we can do, get a longer run, and see if the strategy can work out. Because AJ's not used to these longer races. We don't run these things in BRR. 400 laps, we don't touch. So maybe these guys that run these longer races are going to out strategy the 40 a little bit. But right now, the 40's doing pretty good out there in the lead.
Yep, Nick Seams in second, the Mad Bear in third, Adam Gilliott fourth, Flying Ryan now back in fifth, but has Octavio closing back in. And next week we are at Nashville Super Speedway. That is always an exciting race for these cars because they can get 4, 5, 6, 7 wide coming out of those turns. There is a lot of room to race at Nashville Super Speedway. Any idea who's going to be driving a car for Gerald next week?
That's me. I believe I have the next two. I have around Nashville and in Atlanta, I believe, coming up in that 40.
Have you been getting practice in for Nashville, and what could we expect to see there?
I haven't practiced in this car in Nashville, but I've run a little bit. The officials this week are in Nashville, so I've run the Cup car there. Nashville's an interesting track, but these cars handle things totally different for next week. So we'll see how the speed rate goes with these cars. Nick seems to be closing in on AJ quite a bit here.
Meanwhile, Octavio Rondoletto, Ryan Seams, a few close calls as those two battle for 5th place. Octavio finally getting by, but not without some door banging going on there. I was surprised to see Ryan trying to keep it low. He was trying to keep Octavio pinched down. A great move on his part, but as we've seen cars getting loose off these turns, that does make things a bit risky. And you're right, Nick Seams now just 1.6 seconds back.
Yeah, like I said, he might be saving his stuff a little bit, letting AJ maybe burn something off, but maybe testing the waters on the rookie of XCAL, but I don't think he knows who he's racing with. Adam Gillian and Matt Barrett about 3rd place. Gillian's looking good here.
Adam has definitely cranked it up a little bit. Matt Barrett in that 18 car up top, Gillian down on the bottom, and I did just get confirmation the Seams team would be called Bustin' at the Seams. Perfect name for guys that are extremely fast out here.
Yeah, they're going to have their own team going next year if they have all these guys coming up.
It's definitely going to be awesome to watch a full Seams team. Good evening to Richie Joplin. How are you, buddy? Octavio Rondoletto now up into 5th place, has cleared Ryan, but Ryan is not done yet. Flying Ryan still fighting underneath, and man, I don't think Ryan is ready to give up that top 5 spot.
You know that fan club already give up that spot. They'll be rooting for him to get going.
They definitely will. And if you have noticed as Ryan almost gets into Octavio there, backs off to make sure he doesn't, but trying to scare Rondoletto. If you've noticed some little glitching in the broadcast, our apologies. Does look like iRacing has been having a bit of a problem for the last 30 minutes or so. We're monitoring it, and hopefully we will not have to red flag the race or anything, but... And look, Ryan is back underneath Octavio. He wore him out.
Yeah, he stuck his door there at 3 and 4. They're side by side, 1 and 2. Octavio's up the wall there coming out of 2.
Definitely appeared to, and yep, Flying Ryan nose ahead through 3 and 4. But man, I mentioned it earlier, the turn 4, that every other car here tends to get loose. It doesn't matter what car you run here. Out of turn 2 and especially out of turn 4, you are loose. However, they were planted, it looked like, but it looks like on the long run that definitely comes into play with these cars.
It's just so tight coming off the corners, the way it's designed, so the ball comes out to get you. So you have to set it up so loose so you don't do that. And when you do that, you're running into a new wall. Maybe literally sometimes you're running into that wall.
And, you know, we saw how close these two are going at it. Octavio using every bit of the track, coming down the back straightaway, almost getting into that gap at dead center on the back straightaway. We've seen in the past that gap bite some drivers who push just a little bit too hard. Octavio got close again there. Meanwhile, Nicholas Seams up front, or in second, trying to run AJ down, but AJ is pulled back out by just a little bit, and Adam Gilliat now in third, starting to reel in Nick Seams.
Adam Gilliat, he's been one to watch. 12 to third now. Seems to have the long run speed, doesn't lose it on the short run. You know, it's unfortunate because Jeremy and Scott have both had incidents that maybe both of those two could have been working their way up through had the early incident not happened.
That is definitely the case. Jeremy Leto is on pit road. Now, he is the farthest back car, so he will be at full speed when he comes off pit road here in about 10 or 15 seconds. So we're definitely going to keep a camera on him for a moment because here we go. Leto fires out of his pit stall. I don't think Leto hit full speed by the time he hit the end of pit. Oh! And there is the other problem.
Leaders are coming in. Matt Bear, looks like AJ Godson just pitted. Nick Seams stays out. Julian's still out.
Good strategy move. Seems definitely one of those guys that's really good at saving fuel. Able to stretch it that few extra laps. That could come into play later in the race.
Out to the lap 134. So I feel like that's a little bit early from what we thought.
It seems to be. It seems like these guys, we had a 70 to maybe 80 mile fuel window, but it looks like 60 laps is about all they can do. And while we have our...
Got off here.
AJ coming off up to speed, and while pit stops are underway, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but we'll go side by side so you won't miss a thing. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. And during this cycle of stops, it looks like Sean Andrews has had a problem. He was side by side with Brent Meckes, right underneath Joe Campbell, and gets loose big time out of turn 4. And as you saw, no pit road speed here tonight. Pit road speed limit rather tonight has definitely come into play a lot, Jared.
Absolutely, and you're seeing guys gun into pit lane, gun out. So far, no big incidents happening, but you're seeing a lot of guys lose and gain time whenever they're on pit lane. Is Julian Lataro still running the lead lap? I think every other car now is pitted. The lead lap
Does appear so. Adam Gillian out front by 9 1/4 seconds, and if you're the leader in this situation, you definitely are hoping for a caution that does not involve you, because you'd end up trapping half the field at least one lap down. Looking through the pit strategies here as Adam Gillian continues to turn laps and almost back into lap traffic. Jose Godino looks like he may claim the lead here after the pit stops.
Yeah, he was the last guy to pit on the first cycle. He pitted on lap 7 and went the longest of anybody. So he's the guy to watch to see what he's doing to save as many laps as he is. Gillian's still going, Taro's still going. But a lot of different strategies seem to be going on. AJ and Matt pitted early. Nick wasn't far behind the Taro's in. So we'll see how long some of these guys can go and how that comes to a head here as we're running lap 148.
Well, Adam Gillian in the lead, and interesting to note, Some guy named Jeff Hinkle asked where he could get some AJ Godsey merch. Rumor is, if AJ pulls off a win tonight, you'd find that in the XCAL Racing web shop, where you can find all of your XCAL Racing gear. As Adam Gilliott full sends it onto pit road, this is still so wild seeing these guys just go full speed down pit road. Jose Godino will end up assuming the lead here. Go check out the XCAL Racing web shop, where you can find all your XCAL Racing gear. Also, don't forget to come back next Tuesday night, as Jared will be back in the car for the Nashville Super Speedway. Boy, that's going to be a fun one.
Yeah, I hope so. Hopefully we can do something similar to what the 40 cars doing today, but I'm not going to get my hopes up. Speedways, see what happens. But, yeah, the XCAL web shop, man, a lot of good stuff on there. You know, we know the Fly and Ride Seams fan club loves that site. You know, and everything going on there, they have a lot of good stuff. So hopefully we'll get something in there, and FKR can get some stuff in there as well.
And we do have some cheers now for Octavio Rondoletto and Lataro. Octavio currently in 8th, Lataro in 10th. As pit stop cycle through, expect these guys to start marching their way forward before too much longer. We saw them both just come flying through the field before that first caution and round of stops on lap 7. I don't think you can count these two out yet either. Albie Hewins full sends it onto pit road, and perfect stop. I know a lot of these guys got a lot of practice getting into pit road like this, but man, it's still impressive to see these guys hit their stalls.
Yeah, they're doing it well. I haven't seen any issues with somebody missing yet. These cars can be difficult to get slowed down, and we haven't been able to watch things fully, but they're doing a good job of getting out there and then stopping and getting back going. We haven't seen this thing going in or coming out of pit road. That's really caused a big issue.
I think they're being a lot more cautious on pit road exit than we expected. I did expect to see a lot of chaos, but we've had 2 green flag stops, and coming out of pit road, nobody has had an incident. Jose continues to lead. AJ Godsey sitting back in 2nd, and it's time to go to the XCAL Racing web shop blimp camera, as Jose is starting to reel in some lap traffic. Matt Bear in 3rd after getting his 10th pole of his XCAL career coming into tonight, and that 18 car still leading the points late in the season.
Watch this 20 car go around here. He's running lap 158 now. Can he do this in one last stop and everybody else running this many laps? I kind of wonder if strategy could be the biggest game that they're playing right now. As everybody else is kind of cycling back to where they were, Jose has been a big benefactor of everything going on.
It definitely has, and it's interesting you mentioned that, because Octavio Rondoletto last year lost the race here with a last lap with a late race pit stop with about 20 laps to go, sent it into pit road, got the wall. But he had everybody whipped by several laps, and obviously lost it there. That's a guy that had several races stolen last year. So, man, hoping he has a good run, and hopefully his strategy comes back around here as well. Hey, good evening, JR. I do not know, buddy. And you've raced with Octavio, I know, Jared. Gerald often calls him a human calculator.
Yeah, I remember talking to the guy. It just seems like he has everything figured out. And you get on track with him, you're really not on track with him. He's gone. You know, if I'm on track with him, I'm not racing him. I'm racing somebody else. He's a lot faster than I am for sure. But we'll see what he can do. He seems like he's sitting about 5th place and hasn't really gained higher than that. We haven't seen him run that much longer, so I don't know. Maybe he's struggling a little bit today with the speed. I know Gilliatt's doing really well. He's a lot of guys around him. He's racing a little bit hard. But he and Lataro don't quite have the same speed that they had certainly last week for sure.
Yeah, him and Lataro, the 1-2 at the Rock. Meanwhile, AJ Godsey has cycled back into the lead and has a 6-second lead over the college kid, Nick Seams, in second. The Mad Bear currently running in third. Adam Gilliatt back in fourth. Octavio in fifth. Flying Ryan right on Octavio's bumper. And these two, man, these two have really gone at it all night long, back and forth for that top 5 spot.
Yeah, they keep it away from each other today, and that's 400 laps running like that. It can be very frustrating. So we'll see if somebody just makes a mistake. Eventually, something happens more than what's happened already. Lataro there in 7th place. He's working his way up in this field pretty well. But like I said a little bit earlier ago, not quite exactly what I thought this 43 and 44 would be doing. Joe Campbell there, 63, now a lap down. Gerald, sitting there safe in 9th place. Jose, we talked about him a lot with the fuel strategy. 2 laps down now, but should have the best tires coming out.
Be interesting to see how Jose does as he closes in on 3rd place. Matt Bear, Jose currently in 10th, but 7 seconds behind Gerald Poole in 9th. One of Gerald's best runs of the season. He's been out of the car a lot this season, focusing on team owner duties, but man, he hopped in the car and he got it done, and it looks like Gerald actually following one of his drivers, AJ Godsey. Guarantee you he is learning, just sitting back there, taking advantage of having AJ in front of him.
Yeah, he absolutely should be. AJ is just right now. He's taking off from Nick Seams a little bit. And knew Gerald was going to let him go there a little bit. Sure, it's going to lap. Gerald's still in 9th place, sitting pretty good. His team looks good today. I think everybody's, they're all of them running in the top 10. So it's a great day for FKR as JNS isn't quite there. Campbell's there, but Andrews is down, Hewitts is down. Maybe a great day in the points here for FKR.
Definitely could be, and putting AJ in that car at this track, you had to know, is Gerald coming by Scott Gilliatt there, a little struggle. Gerald gets a little bit loose, Scott several laps down. Putting AJ in the car at this race, both Gerald and AJ were in that BRR Cup race here a few weeks ago, and man, he saw AJ dominate. Smart move putting him in here. Putting AJ in anything on a short track is a great call, and since we know that is pretty much the BRR car now, it's brought out some awesome drivers. If you had to pick a BRR driver to come fill that car for one of the upcoming races, besides you and AJ, who would you pick, especially if you knew it was going to be a strategy race?
It's hard because we don't run long races. I talked to Hinkle a couple times, being on the West Coast. I would love to get him in one of the speedways. He knows how to save tires so well. I'm really happy to get AJ in this car. I would love to get Ray back in this car, but there's one guy, and I know it's going to work hard, but I think we need to get Wild Bill in this car, don't you?
Oh, yes. Undoubtedly, we need to get Wild Bill in this car for a race. That would be an awesome race, and I agree, getting Hinkle in on a couple of these races would be great as well. A lot of great talent out there, and one of the interesting things is since Gerald has come into XCAL, he has brought a lot of talent with him, and a lot of crossover, both from BRR to 3-wide Gen 4 on Sunday nights, and then a lot of crossover into Jones BS Racing, and a whole lot more. Who knows who else could show up? We'll even love to see some of those Nowski guys get out here and see what they got. I've been trying to talk Budge into getting into the car for a year.
Yeah, that would be a lot of fun. With his personality going in here. We saw Richie. He ran Milwaukee. Mark Antuma's coming up. So if you want to drive this 40 car, I'm open for it, man. I'd love to put more people in that car, get that orange car back out there next week, and see what we can do. If you're seeing the speed we got with the setups that's coming up on Brett Mecca's to lap one in, lap down. But, we're showing speed, and I think it's a cool opportunity to swap around and get some new guys. Adam Gilliott just took third place, Doug.
Yeah, Adam getting by the Mad Bear up into third. Matt, he said he had a long run car, but we know the track's a little on the cool side tonight, but Matt has really been struggling here. I have to wonder if he's set up for a hot track and is having to adjust on the fly and just not getting it right. Matt's one of those drivers that's always in contention for the win, so it is definitely a surprise to see him back here in fourth with Octavio Rondoletto and Lataro gaining.
Yeah, still a good points day so far, but I got a feeling that's not what the 18 was looking for today. Starting on the pole, really good heat race. You had to think that he thought he was maybe a bigger contender for the win. He's not out of it by any measure, but I think he might be a little bit disappointed to see him sitting in fourth and not in first or second here as we run get close to halfway in this thing.
Yeah, and you have to know, I mean, Austin put Matt in that car because of real life stuff. He couldn't finish out the season. That car already has 9 wins on it this season. It's one of the fastest cars out there. So, you know, seeing Matt struggling is huge. Joe Campbell currently back there in 8th place. Joe has been quietly picking him off. He's trying to close the gap on flying. Ryan fading a little bit here mid-race. Back into 7th place as Octavio and Lataro got back by him.
Yeah, you wonder how this track is handling, because you mentioned that the track temp is only 73 right now. So, I mean, what does that mean for strategy and different things? What does that mean for tire weight? Well, you get a colder track, the track's not taking rubber as much. So, the thing should, theoretically, have grip. So if you set this thing up loose, it's possible that that's not going to work out today. You might need to set this thing up a little bit tight because you may maintain that grip throughout the whole run. So we'll see as we run the second half of this race if track temps stay, maybe even fall a little bit as we get later in the evening.
Could definitely be the case, and lap times could change dramatically. I mean, we're talking about a half-second difference between the fastest laps for each of these drivers and where they're running now. Not a ton of time, but the maneuverability loss there is huge. As Adam Gilliott challenges for second place, he's looking underneath Nick Seams. Adam is on a tear tonight.
Yeah, that team, those 3 Gilliotts, they have something. It's really unfortunate that those 2 are so many laps down. They might be up here. You know, Adam certainly has found something in this setup to make this thing rotate so well. Haven't seen him sideways, haven't seen him wobble. He's just running a really good race, coming up from 12th place and out to 3rd. They have something good. Maybe he has something for AJ coming up through here.
That could very well be. AJ's lead now just at 7 seconds over Nick Seams, and Adam gets underneath but gets loose. Manages to keep his foot in it though, but loses the momentum.
Could we have some team orders here? The 25 telling that 21 to stay in front of the 00. You know what I mean? You got family there to use. I think he did it. I think that's exactly what happened in 3 and 4.
It could very well be. It would not be the first time we saw team orders come into play in XCAL. I think back to last year, we've talked about it a lot, but last year at Michigan, when the EHP team managed to get 4 wide, 2 deep, and basically control the race for the first 70-80% of it. Didn't matter how many cars they got lined up, they just had nowhere to run.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. It's going to work. I think Adam might be able to get away from Nick Seams here. I don't know what's going on with those Seams cars, but they seem to be fading a little bit. The 29 down to 7th and the 00 down to 3rd. Could be a little bit of strategy. Could be handled. I don't know.
Well, Nick Seams definitely still sitting in that podium spot and has a 1 1/4 second gap on Matt Bear in 4th. Meanwhile, right behind Matt Bear is 8th place Joe Campbell, and Joe is actually looking a little faster than Matt right now. Joe not known for short course or short track racing, but man, he has got some speed here tonight. Just some bad luck in the early going, but it looks like that car has gotten tuned up. He's not doing bad. He's in 8th place, but I don't think he's done yet. Flying Ryan about 11 seconds ahead, but Joe's gaining on him.
Sean Hedges, same team there. He's heading now. I don't know if this is a scheduled stop or if looks like it's a little bit early. He's headed lap 138, 136. So this is a little bit early. It's a big lap 189. Not for him. Not really sure if that's a scheduled stop. Seems a little bit early for that.
And it could be strategy play, just working backwards on the math here. At 70 laps, this could be perfectly timed. Time will tell, but man, this could fall perfectly where he only has to do a couple more stops and puts him back out there on fresh tires. A lot of these guys, when they go out and practice for these XCAL races, knowing the length of them, they plan accordingly and they plan that strategy backwards to make sure they make it to the end of the race with a couple extra laps of fuel, but also on the freshest tires possible.
Yeah, he's unfortunately now 6 laps down. He still sits in the pits, but you gotta wonder what the strategy call is. If you get a caution, a guy like Joe Campbell will lap down with a nice opportunity. It just seems to be a little bit too spread out right now for anything like that. A few battles here and there. Lautaro got by Octavio at some point, but it's just getting kind of spread out. You kind of wonder if a caution can really mix things up. People kind of anxious to go. If we'll see more maybe aggressiveness here in the second half.
You definitely have to think that we'll see some more aggressiveness, but the real question is, as we've talked about, these guys do not have a speed limit on pit road during green flag stops. We've seen a lot of guys be conservative. I think we could see that caution come from somebody getting more aggressive onto pit road. That's when things could get exciting.
Oh, absolutely. And any hope that somebody just finds the wrong place, wrong time. And it could just be a lap car, wrong place, wrong time. And this whole race could go upside down.
Jeremy Gilliott headed to pit road and overshot his stop. Matt Bear is in. He's got the easiest stall to get into. And he nails it perfectly this time.
AJ just lapped Ryan Seams. Ryan was up there. So something definitely happened there with those Seams cars. They made the wrong adjustment. They did something. The fact that flying Ryan Seams just got lapped down, I think should send a little message to the field here.
Well, Flying Ryan's still in 6th place, having a great night, but man, AJ just seems to have stepped it up. I think Gerald made the right call, and may see a Flaming Karma Racing car back in victory lane. It has been a bit.
He's working his way up to Albert here in 11th place. He's already 2 laps down, trying to make Albert 3 laps down.
Wow, AJ really sent it to pit road that time. He pushed it out to the wall as he came to pit road. Now Adam Gilliott back to the lead. Nick Seams into second as pit stops begin to cycle through. Lautaro sits in 3rd. Octavio in 4th.
And Gilliott went longer than these guys last time by there's 3 or 4 laps. I'm not exactly sure what the number was there. So we'll see if that pays off as we get to now past the halfway mark. See what these guys do strategically. And we know Jose has been running 10, 20 laps longer somehow. I don't know how he's doing it. So at some point we'll see what happens with strategy and see how long he goes again to try to cut a stop off this thing.
Jose may very well have Harry Hogg putting an extra long fuel line in that AT&T car and making it go even further, because Octavio is Jose is known for playing that strategy game, but man, he is a step above tonight. I have to wonder if he has a different gearing than the rest of his team to be going that much further.
Yeah, I think it's very possible. But he is a little bit slower than some of those guys too. So will the speed outweigh the strategy as we keep going? As we keep running green flag laps, you have less opportunity for strategy to come into play because you're just maybe a little bit slower than some of those guys.
Time will tell which strategy works, and speaking of time, it seems like a really good time to do a full field rundown with Adam Gilliott up front at the moment. He is the third or fourth time leading tonight, having a great run, up 11 spots. Nick Seams currently runs in second. The college kid has been in a podium spot most of the night. Lataro up 13 spots now into third. Great run out of him. Octavio Rondoletto currently sitting in fourth. Last week's winner looking to go 2 in a row. Flying Ryan back up into fifth. Flying Ryan been in the top 10 all night, looking at a big points night as he comes to pit road. Joe Campbell currently running in sixth. Joe trying to make up some ground here. Jose Godino stretching the fuel further than anybody in seventh. AJ Gotzi, having completed his pit stop, currently running in eighth, has had a big lead most of the night. The Matt
Bear running in ninth there. He's coming off the turn 2 there. He's already completed his stop. He'll be coming up through. Albie Hewins, I don't think he has pitted on this cycle yet. He's 2 laps down in 10th place. John Friley having a very good day at 11th. Haven't talked about him a lot, but a very good day. So pretty stable. Looks like Gerald Cole is actually a lap behind him now in 12th place. He's been running long on the field. We know the strategy going on there. And we talked about 4 laps down now. Brett Beckett's that 44 car is beat up, but he's still going pretty well, safely at 13th.
Scott Gilliott still holding on and continues to pick up spots along the way, despite that early incident in 14th. And Jeremy Leto, who started the race about 10 laps late, is in 15th. Sean Andrews back on pit road in 16th. Jeremy Gilliott.
Definitely a problem there. We're not sure what happened. 23 laps down now. He pitted a long time ago. He's been in there for a while.
Yeah, he's moving into his pit stall at this point. Jeremy Gilliott currently running in 17th. Also had problems early despite having a fast car. Derek Colson and Derek Dixon, both out of the race.
Let's see what happened with Derek Colson as well. I don't remember what the incident was there, but he hasn't been here since lap 155 for him. So, not sure what happened with that 5 car. He's 59 laps down in 18th.
He did have that spin, but he recovered from it, kept going, and then just disappeared. Maybe he just said enough, tapped out on this one. Definitely, when incident points cost money and you're on a short track, if you're having problems and you're struggling, the discretion is the better part of valor.
I'm impressed with how far Gilliott is stretching this. He and Lataro have both stretched this a long time, and Joe Campbell for that matter. All 3 running top 3 right now. Campbell is pitting now. But they've stretched this a long way, and that could really come into play. Like I said, they're losing speed because of tire pressure and tire wear and everything. But, this strategy running long, I think, is going to work out for these guys. AJ's trying to get by out of this lap back. One of those laps back.
Yeah, AJ looking down low, trying to work his way back to the lead, waiting on Adam Gilliott and Lataro to go to pit road. AJ in third place now has a 2-second lead over Jose Godino. Jose also has not completed his stop, and Nick Seams had the fastest lap of the race earlier and just beat it in 6th place. So, yeah, I think Nick's still got something in that car. He ain't even shown us everything yet.
Yeah, but Nick is now sitting behind Matt Bear there. So something happened in pit road. There's something strategy there. I think that short hit seems to be working on the short run as Matt Bear and AJ, I believe, will take the lead 1-2 once this thing cycles back through. Nick is not far behind.
Now Nick has been charging all night. I think on that short run, he is going to be impossible to beat. If they get a late race caution, Nick Seams would be the one to beat because he just has it figured out. AJ is known for being great on short tracks, but especially on the long runs, he does not like to have a lot of cautions. He likes a long green flag run so he can pull away. Lataro now on pit road. Adam Gilliott now to pit road as well. This is still just so wild seeing these guys at pit road full speed.
Yeah, Lataro just came out full speed, almost got it in the 454. He got a big moved up a little bit just to make make sure he's good. They're good coming out of pit road. Octavio seemed to have an interesting look now. I think just a few cars that haven't been there. He's right behind John Friley there, going to take the spot here. As Jillian is currently on pit road, he's going to lose his lead. AJ is going to signal back to the lead here.
See if we can take a look real quickly at Lataro's pit road exit. We've seen some close calls on pit road entry, but really have not seen any close calls pit road exit tonight, where we really expected a little bit of chaos, but there he comes out of the pit. 454 gives him just a little bit of room. And everybody gets by cleanly. Now AJ in the lead and Godino in second place.
Jillian had a really good stop there, it seems like. We'll see where he cycles back out to. Looks like he's behind Matt Bear. He's going to come out to 5th place. He's going to take 4th place once Jose pits. But maybe a little bit of a bad strategy there. Came in 2nd, came out 4th, running long there. Maybe he'll rethink that going forward, or if he just stays on his strategy, we'll see what happens.
While we're in the middle of this race, don't forget, go check out the XCAL Racing web shop. There are some new XCAL t-shirts out this week. And we could see a first-time winner tonight. Could get some more new stuff out there before the week is out. Check out the XCAL Racing web shop week in and week out. There's always something new brewing in there. Also, if you want to see all your...
The Flying Ryan heads up the Seams Club won't be happy. He says, no, another lap down somehow. But go Gisborne anyways. I know his fans love that shop and all the good stuff that they provide.
They definitely love it, especially since Flying Ryan now has 2 shirts. Also, don't forget to check out Sim Racer Hub. If you love XCAL, you can get all your favorite drivers' XCAL stats at Sim Racer Hub. Everything you could want to know and more. Also, if you're interested in getting into XCAL but aren't ready to make a 400 lap race, go check out the XCAL Monday Night Dash Series. Get in there, have a little bit of fun, race with some of these guys you see week in and week out, and win a little bit of money. It is a lot of fun, and yeah, a great way to get started in XCAL.
Yeah, those dash races are a lot of fun. I haven't run one myself, but I'm thinking about running some of these short tracks later in the season. We'll see. Maybe I'll get myself in that 40 car out there for those dash races. A lot of fun there.
Definitely is. Some shorter races. Like I believe the one for North Wilkesboro was only like 50 laps, but man, a lot can happen in that first 50 laps, especially when you only have 50 laps to get the job done. It gets the aggression goes up. There's no strategy at play. It is just full send from the drop of the green.
Oh yeah, and it's a totally different atmosphere from the 400 lap racing going on tonight.
Nick Seams currently sits in 3rd. The Mad Bear in 4th. Adam Gilliott back to 5th. Lataro in 6th. Octavio in 7th. Joe Campbell in 8th as he comes by John Friley. Gerald Poole in 9th. Flying Ryan back up into 10th place. Albie Hewins on pit road for his stop. Scott Gilliott also in. Albie's rolling off pit road. Albie has a lot of clear track there.
Yeah, he's going to have clear track. Came right out of the track while his teammate right behind him.
Here comes Scott Gilliott off pit road as well. Scott has had a great recovery despite the early incident. He has managed to make up some ground and even got himself up into 15th.
Yeah, unfortunately, he got caught up in this early, but 19 laps down now, 15th. Still out there running, so good job with him, just staying in it and staying out of the way a little bit. Gilliott's having a little bit of a rough night, but the leader up there, the 25, he's really helped this team get some points today as the rest of his team kind of struggles.
Well, while they are completing this round of stops, we're going to take another quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll go side by side. You won't miss a thing. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. AJ Godsey continues to lead in his XCAL debut, but Nick Seams 8 seconds behind, trying to reel him in. Nick has been one of the fastest all night, and Adam Gilliott has now caught back up to Nick Seams. Matt Bear sitting back in fourth, not far behind. Lataro in fifth. Octavio in sixth. Joe Campbell in seventh. Gerald Thanos Pool 8th, Flying Ryan in 9th, Jose Godino in 10th, and we did look, Flying Ryan's pit stop was substantially further than everybody, or substantially longer than everybody else, 15 seconds more. No pit road speeding penalties tonight, so not sure unless Flying Ryan was getting some sort of damage repaired, but I have not seen that car take anything tonight.
Yeah, we're not sure what happened with him. Maybe he missed it, getting in, getting out. We don't really know, but he'll work his way back up there. He's not far behind Gerald. He's been faster than Gerald most of the night, so hopefully he can make a comeback here. We get a late caution. He'll work his way back in there.
Yeah, he is definitely one of the three drivers in the wave around position. Joe Campbell, Gerald Poole, Ryan Seams, the three cars in position for the wave around if the caution comes out. AJ, meanwhile, continues to lap cars, and now as Adam Gilliott battles for second place, down to the inside on Nick Seams. Man, Gilliott really ran him down. That 25 is on fire tonight.
Yeah, that 25, we talked about him a lot tonight. He's really working good. Long run speed. He's got the fuel strategy as well. He's running along with most of these leaders. So we'll see if Gilliott maybe has a win coming, if he can do something with AJ here. As he gets by Nick Seams pretty cleanly there for second place.
Yeah, it has been a while since we have seen a Gilliott in victory lane. Trying to look and see when the last time we had a Gilliott in victory lane was. I don't think we had one in victory lane this year, come to think of it. So it would be awesome to see one of that team, Stimulus Racing, get out here and finally get to victory lane. But of course, Nick Seams still lurking right there. But I don't know, as fast as Nick is, as fast as Adam is, can either of them run down the leader, AJ Godsey?
I think it's going to take strategy or maybe a caution to figure something out. You say 8 seconds out there. I think it's going to take strategy. Gilliott has a strategy. Matt Bear's been hitting about the same lap as AJ. Nick Seams has been far behind. Gilliott's been the outlier. He's been able to stretch his fuel longer, but he still have the speed. And now he has fresher tires once again. So the strategy, I think, would be the one thing that might come into play unless we get that late caution and things kind of get shortened up.
Well, and from the view overhead from the XCAL blimp, you see AJ Godsey, and he has had some clear track for quite a while, but catching back up to Scott Gilliott and some other lap traffic, and it is a bit foggy out here. There was the chance of rain tonight. Doesn't look like we're going to get it, but man, that fog comes into play, especially when you're in the car. It does kind of obscure your view.
Absolutely, it makes it kind of distracting. Got to get a little more foggy presence over the track. It's an interesting day we have in North Wilkesboro, but track temps are down. It's overcast, 65. It's cold. I think setup's maybe a little bit different. I think it's throwing some people through a loop. But AJ seems to be on it. That car is just on rails going through this field.
Yeah, looking from inside Octavio Rondoletto's car, you see that view. Fortunately, it's a short track, much longer of a straightaway. You'd have difficulty seeing the cars at the other end. Hey, good evening, Kevin. How are you, buddy? Yeah, going down into the turns and back out. And you know, an interesting conversation has come up here in recent weeks with North Wilkesboro being completely redone for the NASCAR All-Star race. If we got a newly scanned version of North Wilkesboro with the new tarmac and everything down on it, which would you rather race on, the new or the old, Jared?
I want new. I mean, this thing, there's just no grip with this track. I'm ready for a newer version of this thing to come out here. It was, it's really cool to talk about with the rejuvenation of this track. In 2021, the governor signed a nice, state budget allocating $40 million to 3 racetracks, being Charlotte, Rockingham, and North Wilkesboro. Marcus Smith taking advantage of that. Speedway Motorsports, able to revamp this place, and hopefully iRacing can do the same. We can get some new racing here. We've seen some new racing here. If iRacing can come in line with that and put a new scan out here, this thing updated.
Well, I have to say, me personally, I'd love to have both versions available, but given the preference, I'm a bit old school. I'd like to keep... Caution! Caution is out! Lap 260 for Scott Gilliott. What the heck happened here? Coming up the hill, out of turn 2. Into turn 3. Godino gets a massive run in there. Oh! Gerald Poole gets caught up in it with nowhere to go.
Yeah, Gerald got a hard hit there. Not exactly sure. Was Scott pitting? It seemed like he got really slow there, going through 3 and 4, and Jose got into him, but I don't know. It seems like he's going a lot slower there than I thought. Maybe he was going to pit, and Jose didn't know it. Really caught Gerald there hard.
It definitely did. However, Joe Campbell, Gerald Poole, Ryan Seams, the 3 cars in position for the wave around as AJ Godsey leads the lead lap cars down pit road. This is the only time tonight that a pit road speed limit is in effect, is under caution.
Curious to see how this shakes things up, because we knew Gilliott was running longer on fuel, and now they're on even playing field. They're going to have the same amount of fuel going the rest of the way as we run lap 262. Plus, we talked about the cautions and everything that's going to happen there. The lap cars will be on the inside, just like the retro NASCAR races. So we're going to have an old school feel here, and guys like Joe Campbell and Gerald Poole are going to be inside of the leaders as we restart. An opportunity for these guys to get that lap back and have a shot at the win.
Definitely a great opportunity, and you know the old saying, cautions breed cautions. It's only the second caution of the race, but we're less than 150 laps from the end, which seems like a lot until you realize that's less than 20 seconds a lap. I fully expect.
Wonder with this race was this. The last time a winning driver lapped the entire field was October 1994, when Bodine did it here, completing 400 laps. I was beginning to wonder if we were going to see another time with that, but it doesn't look like we're going to get that.
Doesn't look that way, at least for the moment. There's not going to be enough green flag stops left and enough laps. I don't think it's possible from here, but AJ has shown a lot of dominance And
Something
somehow
happened. He slid back. He's now marked a couple spots back. I don't know if he had a black flag in the pit or what happened.
waiting to see. I think it may just be a scoring glitch because it's showing AJ no longer on the lead lap in 6th place. But, oh, here comes Adam Gilliott and Nick Seams, and I think this is going to... I think we had some drivers that did not come to pit road under that first lap. So we'll see how things play out here. Gerald Poole, heavy damage, but getting... should be getting one of his laps back. There is definitely some weirdness under this caution.
Lataro is now being marked as the leader.
Yeah, with Octavio in 2nd, or Nick Seams rather in 3rd, Adam Gilliott 4th, Joe Campbell in 5th, Gerald Poole 6th, and AJ in 7th. But AJ being scored is no longer on the lead lap. This late in the race, AJ's going to have to get back to the lead lap and then fight his way back. If he can get back to the lead lap under green, then the caution come out, it would be perfect for him.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened. This Matt Bear has also scored a lap down though.
Oh, here we go, back to green. Lataro quickly down into turn 1. The lap cars, Gerald goes high. Nick Seams got a... Oh, caution is out back behind. AJ and Gerald involved. AJ down on the bottom trying to fight his way back through, gets loose. Oh, almost saves it. Ryan Seams gets hit and Gerald Poole has nowhere to go.
And everything looks so good there for AJ. And now kind of got crushed there, lost it. And Gerald got some damage there. Ryan Seams came back up through, but he has some damage.
That should put Ryan Seams, Matt Bear, and Gerald Poole back on the lead lap, but as you can see, Gerald is missing the entire front clip on that 33 car tonight. He's going to have a hard time holding on to that top 10 position. Meanwhile, Lataro and Octavio, who went 1-2 last week at the Rock, running 1-2 again here tonight at North Wilkesboro.
Yeah, the strategy, something paid off there under the yellow that they were able to, take the lead and now keep it. We'll see what Nick Seams and Adam Gilliott have for them. They've been the other two guys that have really been fast tonight. So we're not sure exactly what happened. As AJ is now 3 laps down, looks like he's sticking in the pit.
Yeah, it looks like he did end up towing to pit road after that incident.
A lot of these guys pitting here. Looks like Gerald's pitting here, 1 lap down.
A lot of guys topping off on fuel that had already come in. Track position, some of these guys, it's not going to matter. They're getting waved back to the lead lap, and they might as well come back in, top off on fuel, get fresh tires if the time permits. John Friley just ducked into pit road as well. Albie Hewins on pit road. Brent Meckes. AJ, of course, on pit road. Jeremy Leto back in. Scott Gilliott back in. This is definitely shaping. It would look like it was going to run to a green flag. Suddenly has back-to-back cautions here. And the top contender for tonight may be done. After it looked like the Flaming Karma race team looked like they were going to dominate the night.
Well, they still might. Taro's still in the lead. Looks like FKRs could still get a winner. He's still in the lead. But now some cars coming back to the lead lap, like Matt Bear and Ryan Seams coming back to the lead lap. Joe Campbell there in 4th place, having a great day. Gerald Cole got a wave here, and he's going to come back one lap down. He was too.
Matt Bear, Ryan Seams going into top off on fuel. Nobody can go the distance from here on fuel, so you have to kind of question this strategy. But, man, you know, if you can stretch it that few extra laps and get that, have that little bit shorter pit stop at the end of the race, could make all the difference in the world.
Oh, absolutely. And like I said, we saw Gilliatt was able to do that, and we know Lautaro and Octavio can do something like that. So we'll see what kind of strategy comes into play as we go on this restart.
So Lautaro will be in control with Octavio. Lap cars down to the inside as Jose Godino leads the inside line. Lautaro, Octavio, then Nick Seams, Joe Campbell, Adam Gilliatt, your top five. Matt Bear and Flying Ryan, the last two cars, back on the lead lap. So both Seams back on the lead lap as we go back to green. Lap 275. And while they go around, we're going to take another quick commercial break. Don't go anywhere. We'll go side by side. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Lautaro continues to lead. Scott Gilliatt has had a problem since the restart. No caution. Scott definitely had made quite a comeback since that early race incident. Had mounted a march back up into the top 15, but had some problems here late. And it looks like he may have just completely lost connection.
It seems all over the back of the game. Looks like 21 had another problem coming off too.
Yeah, we've mentioned it a couple of times that iRacing appears to be having some sort of difficulties tonight. You guys may have noticed, and it is being reported more and more frequently, and it may have come back to bite Scott Gilliatt here. Time will tell. Nick Seams, though, man, he's driving right up underneath Octavio, trying to take some of the air off Octavio, maybe get him loose or force him into a mistake. Of these top three, Nick Seams has had the fastest laps all night long.
Yeah, Yeah, Nick Seams has been on it tonight. I wouldn't look that far behind him. That 25 car is going to be catching these guys. And of course, the Mad Bear back there behind those guys. You never can count him out with some of his strategies and different things. He's still on the lead, back on the lead lap now. He'll be trying to work his way back into the podium.
Definitely will be the self-proclaimed Ghost of Dale, and you can get your Ghost of Dale t-shirts at xcalracing.com/shop. You can also check out next week's race coming to you from the Nashville Super Speedway. Jared back in the car next week, and no telling what could happen there, as these guys are going to be pushing very hard, nose to tail, inches apart all night long.
Yeah, hopefully it's a good race. We can try to put on a good show for you, but we'll see how things go.
Joe Campbell in 6th place, flying Ryan in 7th. You know, and you got to give it to Gerald Poole in 8th. Despite the heavy damage that car has taken, his crew has done an amazing job getting that back together. He's still got a top 10 run going, his best run of the season.
I'll tell you what, he's comfortably in the top 10. He's 2 laps ahead of 9th place, who's John Friley, who's having a great day as well. And Albert Ewan's there getting the top 10, 3 laps down. He's a whole lap ahead of Jose, who I think Jose hated those cautions because he was the one guy that had a totally different strategy than everybody else. And now he's stuck 4 laps down. The strategy kind of went to nowhere, kind of went to null.
It definitely did. It looked like Jose was going to be able to go further than anybody. Still had quite a good pace, but man had been conserving and got that fuel mileage to where he could almost make this on one less stop than everybody else. And that would have came out perfectly if not for that caution. But now it is Lautaro pulling a gap on Octavio, as Octavio is really having to defend here. Nick Seams is giving him a workout, and Adam Gilliott has just about caught him.
Yeah, I kind of wondered if Lautaro and Octavio were maybe on the strategy thing, and maybe they weren't kind of going 100%, maybe they're going 80 or 90. But I think that's maybe what we're seeing out of that 43 right now, is that they realize strategy is now kind of out the window. That that 43 maybe is just kind of going full now. But even now, it still seems like Nick Seams and Gillian are maybe a little bit faster than both of these guys.
Definitely does seem like Lautaro has cranked it up a notch, but as has Adam Gilliott as he closes in. He has been one of the fastest on the short run and does not lose anything on the long run. So I don't think he is done yet either. And if we get another caution that packs these 4 back up on a short run going to the finish, anything could happen.
Yeah, we saw what happened on the last caution. Unfortunately, taking out the 40 car. But, we know caution breed cautions. Who knows how the finish will tear up if we get some more cautions. These lap cars kind of involved.
And you have to wonder. Apparently Kevin G has got some food smoking at the food stand, so you guys might want to go check out what he's got in the smoker. But as we come down toward the end of this race, most of these drivers will be able to do it on one more stop. But as we talked about earlier on, these guys have been a little bit more conservative hitting pit road tonight, even though they can go, there's no pit road speed limit. I don't think we're going to see anybody being conservative on late race stops.
No, I would say conservation is out the window. It's time to go. And I think Nick Seams is going to start realizing that. I know we still have about 100 laps to go here as we go through 98 and 99. But at some point, Nick Seams has to say, look, I need that position. Well, patience, because we're going to run down as the 25 is going to go back of these cars. Nick Seams needs to go. He needs to do it in a hurry, because that 25 car is going to be in his tailpipe.
Oh, definitely. Seams has got the speed. I think he could get by Octavio if he really wanted to, but it's just being careful about it. He's gotten the nose in a few times, and you see him runs right to the back bumper. but he also has to get out of the gas and almost open the door for Adam Gilliatt there as Gilliatt runs right up to him and doesn't have to back out.
Yeah, Gilliatt's caught these guys, and you know the 00 seeing that. And Gilliatt may not be as patient as the 00 has been so far.
And here comes another big shock. Joe Campbell currently running in fifth, 3.8 seconds behind that lead battle. He is actually closing in on the leaders. He's going to bring Matt Bear with him. He's going to bring Flying Ryan with him. As wow, Ryan kicks it out of turn 4, but keeps his foot in it. Ryan's closing quickly as well.
Yeah, Ryan had a problem there in the middle part of this race. He's made a comeback, got a wave on those cautions, got back to the lead lap. He knew he was fast early. Maybe they made the right adjustments to get himself back up there. These leaders are getting even tighter. It looks like the 454 is now catching the 453. And we're about to have a four-way battle to try to take a podium spot here.
We definitely are. As Nick is definitely busting at the seams to get past Octavio. You like what I did there?
I understand this.
Just making sure. Nick almost had the run on Octavio at the other end of the track, but almost at the same time opens the door for Adam Gilliatt. We've seen Nick make a move on the high side more than once tonight. However, this is no. Adam almost gets the nose in. This is not the time to be making gutsy moves to the outside. This is about to get really risky.
I think patience may be coming to an end for this 00 and 25. Eventually, they're going to take these spots, whether Octavio wants to give it or not. You get a bump right there going. Really got on the 00 got 454.
Yeah, I think I think there's some cage rattling going on here.
I think there's gonna be if they keep it up. Maybe more than a cage rattle. Red rattle or rattle.
Well, Nick Seams has definitely got the speed. Adam Gilliatt has definitely got the speed. Lataro, who had been pulling away, it looks like he might have cooled down his tires for a lap or two. He opens the gap back up, but Octavio in second is also having to defend that position. So Octavio's got his hands full. You mentioned it a little bit ago, Jared, is that that 43 looked like it was starting to push. Could Octavio just be trying to help his teammate and to return the favor from last week?
It's very possible that lap traffic here. It's very possible that 4 is just kind of, maybe doing a little bit of blocking here for his team. There's 3 wide and 3 and 4. 25 on the inside of Nick Seams for third.
That was a gutsy move, and you got to give it to Seams. He did not lift. Took it all the way out to the wall to carry the momentum and maintain the position. Man, Nick is sending it here tonight. Looking back from Nick Seams' car at Adam Gilliatt, that's not what you want to see in the mirror.
Absolutely not. We know Gilliatt's been fast all day, but now that they're starting to battle, you can see that 4 kind of going away a little bit. They need to work together here, re-catch them, and get by that 4 if they want to have any chance of this thing.
And worth noting, the college kid has a really cool helmet on. I like the paint scheme on that.
Battle for 5th place going on there with Joe and Matt, the 63 and the 18. Matt, you got to believe Matt's kind of disappointed in what's happening here. He's in 6th place and kind of losing the leaders a little bit. He and Ryan Seams both, I thought, be a little bit faster than this tonight, and neither have really shown contention on half the race.
Yeah, it looks like both of them have made the adjustments to finally come around, but is it too little too late? Time will tell, but man, there's some names up here as well that aren't usually in the top 10, like Gerald Poole, John Friley. Albie Hewins has been coming on all season long, and he is back up in the top 10. Look for him to have another couple podium finishes this season. And a big surprise to see Gaudino outside the top 10 in 11th.
Yeah, Jose, the current Ironman of iRacing, we talked about the strategy all day with him. know, that's what it's going to be with him. He's consistent, he's smooth. May not be the fastest guy on the short runs. This is kind of going to hurt him, but you know, he's also very good at the road courses. He's doing a good job there. But the Ironman is going to be currently a lap back from Albert there in 11th place.
Well, before we get to the next set of green flag and the final set of green flag stops, let's run through the field one more time. Lautaro out front, but the question now becomes for how long. Octavio's still right with him in second. Adam Gilliott currently sits back in third, having gotten past Nick Seams finally. Nick Seams still holding on to Gilliott's back bumper in fourth, and Joe Campbell on the march in fifth, closing in, but having to defend against the Mad Bear in sixth, and Flying Ryan still holds the lead lap in seventh.
Yeah, Gerald Cole rounds out eighth. He's one lap down. He's looking for that one more caution to get that wave to come back to the lead lap. John Friley, we talked about him a few times tonight. Great run for him, good points race. He's had speed, and unfortunately he's 3 laps down, but he's running a good race. We just talked about Albie Hewitt. He's consistent, he's fast. Looks like he's under pressure here from the leader of the 43. He's had a good race, consistent, smooth, and the same thing with Jose. He led some laps today with some strategy, but that AT&T car looks good. He's racing pretty quick, and he's staying in 11th place. He's in the money, he's in the points. It's a good day for FKR. Brett Meckes, we talked about him. He's had that damage on the front end all night. He was unfortunately in that lap 7 crash, but he's battled back from it, stayed in it. He's just in 12th place.
Yeah, Jeremy Leto, who has not been really in contention for any race since that Bristol win last year. Currently, he started 10 laps after everybody else, still up to 13th. Scott Gilliott in a couple of incidents tonight has had a couple of problems, still holds 14th. Jeremy Gilliott staying in the fight to get the points in 15th. And AJ Godsey, Sean Andrews, Derek Colson, and Derek Dixon out of the race, and a heartbreak for the car of AJ Godsey, who looked like the first half of this race was unbeatable.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. That 40 car was really fast. We'll see if we can convince him to do one of these. We knew this was the track that we could do it at, and you know, it looked great there for a while. But unfortunately, we just needed something to happen with caution. A lot of lap traffic on the leaders here. Tomorrow has to work its way through 44 and 55.
Well, you know that is going to benefit Adam Gilliott and Nick Seams, who lost the leaders for a little bit during that battle between them. Nick Seams back and forth, losing a little bit of ground, but is starting to regain it as they work through that lap traffic. Joe Campbell and Matt Bear also starting to close that gap down, and Flying Ryan closing in on them as I see some smoke on pit road. I think a few guys might have hit pit road a little bit too hard. Jose Godino just coming in. Let's take a look at his pit road entry. I have to say, I have to give it to Aaron and XCAL. This no pit road speed limit under green, one of the coolest ideas they've ever had.
Gilliott and Octavio just went 3 wide, lapping Albert through 3 and 4, and Gilliott is now inside from second place on Octavio.
Gilliott and Octavio giving a little door bang there. Man, Octavio is not going to give up without a fight here, but Gilliott definitely has one of, if not the fastest cars left on track.
And Gilliott's moving fast all night. He's see if he can get this pass and go up there and try to take Lautaro. While they're side by side, this is exactly what Lautaro wants to see out of the rearview mirror. Is these guys battling like this, he can open up the gap, hopefully. Because it looks like that 25 is going to complete it here in 1 and 2 if he can get a nice run like that again.
Yeah, he definitely... Oh!
Spin! Gilliott to the outside wall. I think we're going to have a caution here, I imagine. Yeah, there it is.
Yep, on lap 328, and most of the field can go the distance from here down into turn 1, side by side. Octavio coming down to try and pinch him down, and Adam just drifts up. They meet in the middle.
Yeah, it's just 2 drivers in 1 spot, unfortunately. You know, it sucks for Gilliott to go to the outside wall there. He's going to lose some spots. It's hard racing through 1 and 2. It's like they're all going to jump out pit lane here.
Interesting to note here too, with this being the final stop with just 70 laps to go, most of these drivers with pace laps should get pretty close to going the distance on fuel. Strategy, some of these drivers may be pushing it on fuel, but the strategy is definitely going to be interesting here. And you know, how hard do these guys battle for positions? And some of these guys with fresher tires, they have been the fastest ones. Ryan Seams, Nick Seams, Adam Gilliott on fresh tires are almost unbeatable.
Let's not throw out the idea that that's going to be the last caution. We know that, you know, these guys are going to be close. They're going to be in each other's bumpers. This may not be the end of this race. We might have a long way to go yet.
Oh, we definitely do. And as they get everybody lined up and ready for the restart, we're going to take our final commercial break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, we're taking you to the finish. All right, folks, we are back. Yeah, and it's time to go racing to the finish. Gerald Thanos Poole drops in and tops off. We've had a lot of drivers hit pit road. Everybody stopped, made at least a single stop like Matt Bear, but several drivers coming in and topping off on fuel. Matt Bear may be the only one that Matt, and you know who else might be able to stretch it? Jose Godino might not need to stop again.
I think a lot of these guys, see if we get another caution. I'm not really sure what's happening on this restart. A little bit of confusion. But I think they should be good to go, but I'm not counting out the possibility that we have more cautions.
Definitely not. And just an update, it does look like Octavio got the black flag for that. He went for that caution, but here we go, back to green. And yeah, it's going to be a controversial call for sure, that black flag.
A little bit. It's a little bit of a racing deal. I'm not the three wide here. Matt Bear in the middle because they just immediately started off strong.
Oh, they're going to try and go four wide?
I sure hope. Oh, Joe Camp almost loosened their four.
Oh, they are four wide.
Oh, they're going. Nick Seams going to the outside wall.
Oh, caution back out lap 337.
Yeah, I think we saw that one coming out of four. It just, there's not enough room to do that. This is not Talladega, guys. I don't know what we're trying to do here, but looks like Taro got Seams, then he got Brent, got Joe.
Wow.
I don't think Joe and Nick will be too happy about that one.
Let's take a look at Lautaro coming through on this one, because it looks like everybody checks up ahead because Joe gets loose up there. Everybody has to check up a little bit to find a lane. Lautaro just sends it and manages to get through. Looks like some light taps, and you have to wonder about the call on this one now.
Yeah, I think you might need to give this one to Lautaro for kind of getting the back of Nick there. But Matt Baer just kind of ran away. He was like, you know what, I don't need to be in all this. I'll take off and take the lead. And all of a sudden, now we're talking about this 18 car being the guy to beat.
Well, we know with this new caution, he has got the fuel. Adam Gilliott is back on pit road, likely for repairs. And Joe Campbell ended up losing a lap on that deal. He was the last car on the lead lap. So he is now a lap down. We may see him, Octavio, and Gerald Poole get waved around. Adam Gilliott trying to hurry. He can still beat the pace car off pit road. Adam may not be done here yet, but he has got to beat that pace truck, and he is not going to make it.
Yeah, that's probably going to do an end here. He's going to have to wait for the line. He should get passed here by Joe, Octavio, and Gerald, which would mean he wouldn't get that wave, right?
I believe so. I believe it should be Joe, Octavio, and Gerald getting the lap back.
He should have just got a black flag as well. There's no way pit exit was open there as the cars went by. I think he might be in trouble here of maybe losing another lap.
Hey, but look who's in third and fourth place now. Currently scoring. They have definitely been busting at the seams tonight. Nick Seams now being scored in third. Flying Ryan scored in fourth. Late in the race, both Seams boys back in the top 5.
Absolutely. They've been fast. They've been there. Taro just given the EOL, so I kind of thought that might happen. So Nick's going to take second place, and Ryan's going to take third. Will they have something for Matt Baer coming to the finish?
You know what? I almost guarantee Nick has something for the Mad Bear. As Joe Campbell gets waved around. Octavio's getting waved around. Now, will it be Adam Gilliott or Gerald Poole? It's going to be Adam Gilliott.
Yeah, I think Gerald might have screwed himself. He hit it there after all that happened. And I think Gerald maybe should have stayed out there. I don't know if he had some damage or he took some extra fuel, but I think had he stayed out, I think he would have got that wave. I think he might have shot himself in the foot there as that up goes around to take the wave.
Well, this definitely changed things up, and once again the Seams boys back in the top 3, but the Mad Bear with the lead, and man, things are about to get really, really interesting.
You got Jose there to the inside, a lap down. You got the 27 there, a lap down. Guys on the inside that are kind of out of the way. Hopefully they don't throw a big mess into things, but we saw what happened in the last caution. We'll see what happens this time.
Looks like the whole Seams family is now busting at the seams.
I think Ryan Seams, I believe, just pitted from his third spot. He's now sitting in 6th.
Do you think he was that close? I mean, with caution laps, I thought everybody was good, but and Adam Gilliott.
Gilliott is well pitting, so maybe they're not as close as we thought they were.
Well, this definitely shakes things up once again. Seems Ryan Seams is going to be back in 6th. Nick Seams stayed out. He's going to hold on to 2nd. And Joe Campbell now up into 3rd as the lights go out on the pace car. And this top 3 has flip-flopped a bunch in recent laps.
Octavio went from getting an EOL, causing a caution, I guess, and then he went a lap down after pitting to fix repairs, and now he got back on the lead lap, and now he's in 4th place. I don't think he knows what's going on.
But we know when it comes to strategy, Octavio is going to be tough to beat, and it may come down to fuel here in the final laps as Green is back in the air, and the question remains, how many of them can go the distance from here? Next week, don't forget to tune in for all the action at the Nashville Super Speedway. Boy, that one's going to be just as exciting as this one.
Yeah, I mean, this should be a good race. This one should be a good race. I'm very great jump on that restart. got off a nice gap here on Nick Seams. Seams is going to have to run him down. We'll see what this 454 has. He's going to go on the outside of Joe.
I was a bit surprised Joe's not defending that position a little bit harder. Nick Seams has a little breathing room behind him before Octavio can get there with a couple of lap cars there, but those lap cars are required if they're more than one lap down to get out of the way, so that could come into play. Nick is closing in on Matt, though.
Yeah, I think Nick has had the faster car all day. I think he'll be able to run that 18 car down, and then passing that 18 car will be an issue.
Ryan Seams just got to Lataro's back bumper. Not a big control. Lataro gets way loose out of 2 as he gets down under Joe, and Ryan is going to come through, but right behind Ryan Seams is Adam Gilliott, and I know Adam, he will be a little bit frustrated with some of the drivers around him. Could we see him use the bumper if he gets to a guy like Octavio?
I think some of these guys have damage. I think Joe Campbell is struggling a little bit with that 63. He's falling pretty quickly as Ryan Seams makes it inside Lataro in 3 and 4. But they're going to battle for 4th place.
Lataro, again, we've seen guys try and keep each other pinned down here all night long. It seems to be the only way to hold somebody behind you, but it's kind of hard to hold back Flying Ryan. They still battle side by side, but I bet Ryan is going to wear him down here before too long.
It's not really where you want to be. You can get a run off the outside, but it gets kind of dangerous as we see. They're going to go 3 wide. Adam Gilliatt's going inside of Seams now for 5th place.
That's a bold strategy, Cotton. We'll see if it pays off.
Or if they end up all 3 wrecked, that's paying off for us and for them.
I don't know. All 3 of these guys have just cranked the aggression up. All 3 of them involved in something in recent laps, and things are getting really sketchy out there.
Oh, absolutely, as it should. We're getting close to the end of this thing. We're now running lap 353 through 54. These guys need to get going if they want to get up there and try to catch some Mad Bear. Start to just kind of keep Nick Seams at distance.
Yep, 1 second lead now over Nick Seams. Octavio trying to reel him in, 1.3 seconds back, and now only 1 lap car between them. Lataro 1 second back in 4th. Adam Gilliott still side by side with Flying Ryan. These two, man, they are nobody giving an inch here. And Ryan, both of these drivers have made passes on the outside tonight, but it looks like the inside line was... Oh, and Ryan's going for the crossover, and they touch. They're both loose.
They saved that somehow, but I can't imagine Gilliott's going to be happy about that move. He had that spot kind of fair, and then Ryan Seams kind of sent that thing in there going, well, that was a bold move that caught Joe right back up to
a very, very bold move, but man, these two are definitely going at it. And wow, they are leaning on each other out of 2. This is getting wild between these two.
Yeah, Gilliott's has been racing one of the Seams the entire race. I don't know if it's Nick or it's Ryan. It seems like he's been around one of the Seams cars all day, so he might be getting frustrated with him. Which Ryan said he do. It looks like Gilliott's going to finish in round 2.
Well, Gilliott definitely fought back on that. What an epic battle. Ryan not known for making dive ball moves like that. That was a gutsy move by Ryan, though. Gotta say, I was impressed. I've not seen him try a dive into the turn, a crossover move like that, but ended up not paying off, but still, gutsy move. But Adam Gilliott moving into 5th, now has to try and run down Lataro and Octavio.
It's a good chance he made that move out of frustration. Maybe a little bit about Ryan Seams' wheelhouse and what he would normally do, but it's been a pretty frustrating race. Some of this race was run kind of uncontested, and now all of a sudden we're in the thick of it, and we're getting close, and guys are getting frustrated, they're getting impatient. That's probably where Ryan Seams said, I'm going to send this thing in here and try to keep this spot. It's my best chance. But Gilliott was able to do it on the outside. Unfortunately, he's going to lose too much time. In that battle, they were with the 43 car, now they're way back.
Well, you have to think about it. I mean, were it me, 50 laps left to go in a 400 lap race, and the door gets open, yeah, I'd probably sit it in there too.
Yeah, you gotta take a chance when you get it, and take your opportunity to go whenever you have your shot.
Lautaro, meanwhile, closing in on Octavio in third. Octavio unable to close the gap on Nick, still 1 second there. And Matt Bear, for the first time tonight, is actually pulling a gap, now up to 1.4 seconds.
Yeah, Matt Bear's found something, whether it was a adjustment or just a driving adjustment, but he's found something in the lead where he seems to be taking off from Nick Seams. Now, could Nick Seams maybe be saving a little bit? I don't know exactly how many laps he can go. Or is it possible he's saving a little bit of tire, kind of waiting Matt Bear out to see if he can come back here at the end? I'm not sure, but he's losing time, and with every lap that clicks off pretty quickly, he's losing distance to Matt Bear.
Yeah, he's if he's got anything left, he has got to go for it. You cannot count on Matt Bear to run. If these guys know they're close, you cannot count on the Mad Bear to run out of fuel. In fact, let's see if we can get the in-car view on Matt. And I'd be willing to bet he is clutching into some of these turns, especially headed down into 1 and 2. I'm betting he's getting out of the gas early.
Yeah, most likely he's saving a little bit if they are close. I'm not exactly sure if they're close. To me, it seems like they've got enough cautions they should be good to go.
He is not actually clutching. He's being a little bit easy on the gas coming out of turn 2, but surprisingly, the Mad Bear not clutching at all.
He must be good to go on fuel then. So he's just out there on a cruise, and Seams is now being caught up by Octavio, looks like.
Yeah.
Seams doesn't quite have the same speed that he had earlier.
Octavio closing in, Lautaro closing in, Adam Gilliat 2.3 seconds back in 5th, losing some ground, and Flying Ryan is definitely catching up. Back up to Adam Gilliat. Joe Campbell 3.5 seconds back. He is secure there and has Gerald Poole right behind him. Gerald a couple of laps behind, or a lap behind Joe rather. No real competition there, so Joe, even if he is having handling issues, Joe's still pretty safe.
Yeah, that car's pretty beat up. He's definitely having some sort of problem there, but he's had a good day. You know, you talk about Joe Campbell maybe not being the short track guy that some of the other guys are, but he's had a really good day, sat in the top 5 on the day. I think he's got to be happy with this result he's going to get here tonight.
As he goes way wide through 3 and 4, he's going to let Gerald go by. John Friley is going to go by. Friley having a great run tonight in 10th. Just quietly, the Cooler crew just quietly working him up there into the top 10. Another great run for John. Joe is on pit road. This is a surprise.
Yeah, I don't know why he would pit there. I know it's got to be frustrating to have that damage but not be as fast, but you would think you would take 7th place and be okay with it. Because now he's going to lose that spot to Gerald. Maybe an interesting move here. You're going to lose 7th place with tires, probably fixing some damage. Unless he had to pit for fuel, I don't really understand that.
Well, Joe comes back out and is going to come back out in 8th, so he only loses the 1 spot. And 10 seconds behind Gerald, unlikely to catch back up and reclaim his position. Meanwhile, Nick Seams and Octavio Rondoletto, Lautaro coming into the picture.
Joe just pitted again.
Joe has definitely got some sort of problem going on there as the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th place cars battle past lap traffic.
Yeah, Octavio was able to get by Nick Seams for seconds. Nick Seams is really having some sort of problem going on here. Lautaro looks to be to the side as he battles for some lap traffic.
Looked like Lautaro had a bobble on the bottom in turns 1 and 2. 25 laps to go. Matt Bear, meanwhile, his lead continuing to grow. Now 3 seconds over second place Octavio Rondoletto, and this is exactly what the Mad Bear wants. He knows they are battling back behind him and giving him room to breathe. Nick Seams. Oh, Nick's got his hands full.
He's kind of disappeared from these guys now. And without a caution, I'm not sure that they're going to get Matt. I don't know that they have enough time to get back to him.
Well, worth reminding the folks at home, at 10 laps to go, there will be no more wave rounds, and at 5 laps to go, regardless of what happens, there will be no caution. So 5 to go, things could heat up a little bit, and of course, as we've seen in the past, if somebody makes a bad move on those last 5 laps, they could be penalized and lose that race win. Oh, apparently Nick has some damage from when he was in that accident a few laps ago.
Yeah, he's got something going on. Maybe the toe angle's out or something. He's certainly not have the speed that he had. As Julian, I think, is now catching these guys in 5th place. But like I said, I just don't think there's enough time at this point. Matt Bear is just kind of taken off with this one.
I think you're right. I think Matt, unless the caution comes back out, Matt's got it wrapped up. But, man, you got to hand it to Nick Seams. Even if that car is damaged, he gave Octavio and Latara one heck of a fight there, trying to hold on to those positions. He did not give them up easy, and he's hanging with them. They cannot make a mistake here.
Absolutely not. You make a mistake, you might get the DOL, something like that. You don't want to cause the caution, but at the same time, you need that caution. Octavio and Lataro, they're both fast, but they just haven't had quite the speed that they're moving for today. I would have loved to see what that 25 could do had a couple things not happen to him. I think he might be up there with that 18.
Oh, definitely could be. That 25 is reeling in everybody. He's 5.7 seconds back from the leader, but he is just flying around here. Last time by, he was at least 0.2 of a second faster than everybody else on track. He has definitely got the fastest car out there at this point in the run. With 17 laps to go, he's probably going to catch Nick Seams. Lataro, Octavio, it may be another story.
You know, it's somebody we talked about a few times tonight, maybe kind of hidden under those things that happened. That 33 car has put together a great race, starting 14th, he's now in 7th. The only car 1 lap down. And he's going to be really happy with this result. He's sitting easily in the top 10. Still 2 laps ahead of most of these guys without a problem. 7th place is all his, so a great day for BFKR.
Oh, definitely a great run for Gerald tonight. Also a great run. John Friley is on pit road. We're starting to see some pit stops for fuel. Albie Hewins now up into 8th place.
As we said earlier, Albie was just going to be solid. He's been solid all day. And as long as he keeps going, he'll be fine. And he's just slowly worked his way back up and let the mess happen in front of him. He just picked him off.
Definitely has. That car is still very, very clean. He is in good shape. Matt Bear continues to work his way through lap traffic, but as he has, Octavio and Lataro are gaining. However, they are in heavy lap traffic now. Matt Bear opened the gap back up to about 3 seconds over Octavio and Lataro. These two are not, we saw it at Rockingham, these two will not battle each other till the last lap. They are going to work together to make their way forward.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know what happened with Joe Campbell. It sucks that, he had to fix that damage or something happened there. He didn't go 3 times there. He's now 11 laps back. Gotta be a frustrated Joe there. Gonna have to watch out next week. He might be coming for somebody. But, he was having such a good race, and then just a couple incidents, the next thing you know, he's 11 laps down. So anything can happen still as we get to the end of this race.
Definitely could. A lot of guys still in front of him. And, with Octavio and Lataro charging, any incident back behind as Nick Seams is trying to get through some lap traffic, looking under John Friley. Seams has started closing back in on Lataro. He had fallen almost 2 seconds behind, but now they're less than 10 laps to go. There will be no more wave rounds if the caution comes out.
Yeah, we'll see what these guys are going to do when they have to go. It seems to be a nice gap, a lot of different spots. Nick a little bit too far back, I think, looking at Lataro. Lataro looks like he might be looking to the inside for second place. Maybe he wants second.
Well, Octavio got the win last week. Lataro came home second. Lataro may just won another second place finish, but Octavio not going to make it easy, even if they are friends and teammates for sure.
Hey, take every spot you can get. I know FKR will be happy with this result for their guys. Jose running in 10th. He's had a good day, just solidly running there in 10th place. But Matt Bear, man, what the story that he came out of this thing. He started first, and you would think that he's leading now. He's been up there, but he's really been a 5th place car until here at the end.
He's even been further back than that and been 1 lap down. Still has managed to fight back and play the strategy game. The car was not great in the early going, but man, late in the race, good to go, and it is 5 to go. Green, green, green. There will be no more cautions tonight.
Yeah, I think without something dramatic happening to Matt, I think he's run away with this race. Just a great race from Matt. You know, he's stayed with it. The car is very clean, and Austin's going to be happy with that. A lot of other cars out here are damaged, and he looks pretty clean. That paint doesn't even look scuffed up on the front of that thing. So. Just a great race from that 18. He looks like he's just going to drift off and win here.
Adam
Gilliat really help in one situation.
It definitely will. And Adam Gilliat, less than a second behind Nick Seams now, has been picking up ground, but he's only got 3 laps to go. He can see Nick ahead as the sun comes out and some of the clouds finally lifting here. But I don't know, with 2 to go, can Adam Gilliat get there? Nobody can touch Matt Bear.
Yeah, I don't think really doesn't come out on a short track to catch this back up. I know he's going to try everything he's got, but I think he's just a little bit too late. He might be a little bit, 5th place finish. Most people go, man, that's really good, but I think he was a win contention car that's going to finish 5th place. Like total opposite story from Matt Bear, where that 25 car had everything going for him, and it all just kind of fell out.
Well, here comes the 18. Through the final turn, Matt Bear will get his 3rd win of the season, and it looks like, yep, he is going to do an Austin Edwards drift through 1 and 2. Octavio Rondoletto comes home in 2nd, Lataro in 3rd, Nick Seams pulls off 4th, Adam Gilliat in 5th, and Ryan Seams comes home 6th. That's the lead lap, and Nick Seams, Adam Gilliat, Ryan Seams, all 3 overcame a lot tonight to finish on the lead lap here.
It was an interesting race, a lot of strategy, a lot of green flag laps, and a lot of different leaders, but Matt Bear really pulled that one off at the end to really come through everything. I think Joe Campbell might have a problem with the 43 car. I think there might be something going on here as we finish this.
Yeah, it looks like there was a bit of a discussion there. And Joe comes home in 12th. Jeremy Leto actually came home in 13th. Great run for Leto tonight. Meanwhile, Lataro and Octavio get to the start-finish line, and Matt Bear looks like he finally put some scratches on the right side of that car here at the end.
Yeah, it's a great result. I know with Austin's situation he couldn't be here, but got to be cool to see that 18 car still take the victory here in North Wilkesboro.
I do believe, let me check my notes, but I do believe that is the 11th win for that car. It is the 11th win for the 18 this season, and that is also going to be Matt Bear's 3rd win of the season. It looks like Octavio and Lataro are available. Let's see if we can get a word. Octavio, I pulled both you and Lataro down, and great job by the both of you, buddy.
Thank you, Doug.
First off,
Thanks.
Lataro comes home in third tonight, and it looked like you guys fairly equal all night long.
Yeah, he's really happy because he finished another podium after a tough race, and that's awesome for us.
It was a tough race for both of you. You both did an amazing job. A lot of comebacks and a lot of excitement. Lataro definitely had a few close calls, especially late in the race.
Tuviste muchas situaciones cercanas a quedar afuera en el final. ¿Y qué te pareció todo el final de la carrera? ¿Cómo te sentiste?
Fue una carrera complicada desde el principio, sobre todo por el trompo que tuve al principio. Y después fue remontar y bueno, pasaron cosas a lo último.
He had a difficult race at the start because he had the span, but after the race, things happened. But he's happy anyways.
Well, a great job by you two as well, Octavio. A great fight here. Both of you making up a lot of ground, and you're going to get the bonus points tonight for the hard charger tonight as well.
Yes, the race was positive at the end because starting in the back was difficult. With a lot of incidents too, and that was a condition to finish the race. I'm sorry for Adam for that black flag. But well, here we are in the podium.
Well, anybody you'd like to thank tonight before we let you go, buddy?
Yes, to my team, Junco Hollinger Esports, Lautaro, Gregorio Dorso, my spotter, Flaming Karma for the skin, for the car, the organization, XCAL Racing, and you as always, guys.
All right, thank you guys so much. And Jared, I do believe you have caught up with our winner, the Mad Bear, in Victory Lane.
It was a good race. You started on pole, but it certainly wasn't the race you thought it was going through the mid portion, or was it?
No, definitely not. I thought we were going to have a little bit better car through the middle part of the race right there. Made a couple tire pressure adjustments on the first couple pit stops. Found a little something. Found about a 10th on long run. Was sitting a little even with them, but then when we had the pit strategy come out and got a little spread out, they ended up being a little faster than me on long run with just tire difference.
It was a great run nonetheless to come back and keep your car clean and end up winning this thing. It seems like a lot of cars couldn't do that, so it was a great job to come up through there, make the passes, and win this thing.
Yeah, brother, I got to be completely honest. That was a pure strategy win right there. When we had like the third to last caution or so, everybody dove down on pit road. I went on pit road, got what gas I could, but during the run prior, because I think we were sitting with one stop to end, so I was sitting there trying to save fuel. I was trying to get down to a 5-gallon stop on the last time, try to gain some time on the guys in front of me. And fortunately for me, I had saved enough gas where I was able to beat those guys off pit road when everybody went back in, and came out in the lead right there before all that chaos ensued right behind me.
Hey, it's a great strategy as always, and I know Austin will be happy seeing that 18 car take the win. You have anybody to thank for this one, buddy?
Yeah, man, I got to thank Austin again for giving me the ride to come out here and put on a show for everybody. The XCAL web shop, How to Suck at iRacing. Maybe we'll get some 18 merch in there now with my name on it since we've won 2 in a row now. So, but yeah, overall, can't complain about the race tonight. Couple cautions here and there, but it's Wilkesboro. What do you expect? So, on to Nashville Super Speedway next week at one of my favorite tracks, and hope to make it 3 in a row.
Yeah, we'll be rooting for you. Hopefully you have another good race, and I'll see you on track next week.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it. Look forward to it.
Well, definitely not the race we expected, but and definitely a surprise outcome here. But, man, Matt Bear pulls it off tonight. His 3rd win of the season, 11th win for the 18 car, and now on to the Nashville Super Speedway next week.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. We have a whole week there to kind of get myself prepared for getting back in this car. But, what a great job by Matt Bear to win this thing. I was a little surprised to see him come away with this. He just didn't seem to have it, and then he turned it up late. He talked about the strategy, He won the race definitively, and another great race, another great result. That 18 car takes the 11th win of the season.
Well, it was a great race overall. Honestly, more green flag than we expected, especially with no pit road speed limit. Crazy one for sure, but man, thank you for being in the booth with me tonight, Jared, and looking forward to seeing you back out on track next week.
Yeah, I look forward to it. It was a fun thing to come in here and do this for a race, and I kind of wish that 40 car that I've sponsored was going to do a little bit better today, but hopefully we'll get AJ back in this thing. I know he had a great race, but it's a lot of fun to join you guys and HDSAI, and thanks to Aaron and the XCAL guys for letting me come out and do this. It was a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations goes to the Mad Bear, win number 3 of the season. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow night, 9 Eastern, for the Nowski Nation 87s. Have a great night, everybody.
Wow.